and a lot of good lefties, populist lefties, have agreed with these policies on.
Yeah, because
he
populists
wants to
are
protect
stupid.
the American consumer. These are what protect the consumer.
Nope.
Like the no tariff policy is only helping the billionaire class.
Okay, do you accept that tariffs, at least in the short run, raise prices for consumers? In fact, that's the entire point of them.
That, like, I'm not believing the fact that you say you don't think he knows that. I know that you believe he does.
Okay, well,
like,
to be clear, I think it's pretty likely that he's lying, but here I'm assuming good faith, and I'm just assuming that he's retarded and doesn't understand what a tariff is.
No, I'm saying that's a bit of, like, a derangement, like, you know, like, it's
Wait,
a
how's
bit
that a
of
derangement? I've not seen a single clip of him accurately describing what a tariff is.
No, we did tariffs. We did tariffs on the steel industry, and there was for more than one reason.
And China did not repeal their tariffs. They initiated their own tariffs.
Because then we have more jobs, we have more...
Nope, that's not true. We don't have net jobs.
It makes us more resilient. Nope. And so it's, yes.
Nope, wait, nope, that does not protect jobs. You accept that, right? Any good that you tariff is going to...
protect jobs.
Nope, so did it protect jobs when Trump put tariffs on steel?
Yes.
I have no idea.
Yes.
I don't...
The answer is no. The answer is no. The answer is no. If you want to see more content like this, I would really appreciate you liking and subscribing. It really helps with the algorithm. And make sure to check out the Discord and other social links in the description.
Yeah, man, I think you're getting this whole thing with these tariffs.
What about it?
Well, like, you're just assuming that, you know, all the entrepreneurs in the world, not just domestically but abroad, are just going to sit on their hands.
Well, I don't know what you mean by that.
Let's say we put a big tariff on China.
Mm-hmm.
China doesn't want to lower their tariffs.
You cut out. Are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm getting a bad echo over here. It's fucking with me.
Yeah, okay. Oh, he's gone again. Okay. Hello?
All right, back. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, explain what you mean by...
I feel like you're just assuming that all the entrepreneurs in the world and in America are just going to sit on their hands and just not act, right? So if we say to China, hey, we want to sell our cars over there. We want to sell our products over there without you just ripping it off and stealing our intellectual products and selling them in your markets without us getting a cut at all. But then you selling whatever trash you want over here, right? So if they don't want to reciprocate and lower the tariffs and let us sell our products over there, well, other countries and other vendors will immediately react to that and say, hey, if they don't want to play ball, we'll play ball. And they'll fill that role. And you're just acting as though the whole world is going to sit within action and just see the largest customer that there's ever been. The U.S. economy is the most powerful weapon in the world. It's the largest customer there's ever been of all time. Nothing comes close. And you think that all the entrepreneurs and greedy billionaires in the world are just going to sit on their hands and let us and not try to take advantage of the situation?
Well, to be clear, my position is that universal tariffs are not welfare maximizing. So I agree if we place tariffs on China or whatever, then production would either move to the U.S. or to other countries. I don't dispute that. But what I dispute the fact is that putting tariffs on literally...
agrees with universal tariffs, right? Like, you would never put a tariff on a product that you don't make, right? Like, if we can't make that product here, we would never want to make that harder to acquire. That would never happen, right? But it does make sense for, like, say, Canada to have 100% tariff or higher on American dairy products, right? Because they don't want to get their farmers undercut by some foreign source to where if shit hits the fan, they can't produce dairy in their own country anymore, you know? So it makes sense to have some protectionist policies just in general, not even because of market factors, but just with market factors alone, reciprocal tariffs are a wonderful idea.
Well, that would seem to be like you conceding, which you never spelled out your exact position, that universal tariffs are not welfare maximizing. That's my point. It's that universal tariffs are not welfare maximizing.
Whenever
so you
say universal
that, right?
tariffs, what does that mean? What do you mean
tariffs
by universal
on
tariffs?
Either literally everything or at least a vast majority of goods coming into a country.
Okay, well, I haven't heard any proposals on universal tariffs.
That is Donald Trump's proposal.
This is something he's put out because, like, what I've seen, what I've seen from his campaign and him is that they're saying they're requesting reciprocal tariffs, not universal tariffs, but reciprocal tariffs.
Okay, so Trump does also want to do reciprocal tariffs, but he also wants to do tariffs on most foreign goods, if not all foreign goods. This is from the 2020 Republican platform, which Trump has endorsed. Trump claims his platform, in fact, as his own platform. it says Republicans will support baseline tariffs on foreign-made goods. And then from Agenda 47, Donald Trump's own website, it says Biden's system of punishing domestic producers and rewarding outsourcers with new will be replaced with new American system of universal baseline tariffs on most foreign products.
Well, that's a press briefing. That's a you know what I mean?
This is the Republican platform and his own. And his own website.
Sure, I'll give you that. I'm not debating that, you know. And you know, just like when the Democrats adopted the Green New Deal, they weren't trying to, you know, shut down air traffic immediately, right? There's nuance to this, okay?
There's not.
Yes, let me just make a statement here. Let me just make a statement. What I'm trying to say is, they're not going to get into the minutia of all the tariffs, right? But I can assure you, beyond any reasonable doubt, that if there is a product that we cannot make for a reasonable price to the American consumer within this country, and we need to outsource that product, I can assure you there will not be a tariff on that product. I would bet the house on it.
Well, that'd be you conceding to the position that universal tariffs are not welfare maximizing, which well, that would be you conceding that universal tariffs are not welfare maximizing, because you're saying we shouldn't tariff.
Universal tariffs are not. But reciprocal tariffs. Now, and I've heard this whole conversation. I mean, like, Trump famously had the conversation that he brags about every chance he gets, right? I mean, every fucking, I'm sorry, my language, man, but he brags every time about his conversation with Macron. He was saying to Macron, hey, you got to lower these tariffs on American cars and some of these products I want to sell here. And Macron said, oh, we can't do that. You know, it would hurt our car industry. We cannot, you know, we can't lower these tariffs. And so Trump famously said, well, then I'm going to put 100% tariff on French wine and champagne. And Macron caved right away. And we started selling American products in France at a higher rate. You know, and so that's... And he gave that speech recently. And so he did not apply tariffs, but he just recently, like within the past week or two, explained how he used tariffs as a cudgel, as a negotiating tool. So, I think that Trump said a lot of wild shit, right? Like, you think he's like, I'm not a big Trump guy, right? But he said a lot of wild shit, right?
Yes.
It's not, is it all happened, right?
Nope, not everything he says has happened.
Well, I mean, it's not even close to happening. It's like you know full and well you got to take everything he says with a grain of salt. And I mean, I don't think that platform pages on websites are famous for, you know, policy minutia like global trade.
Well, it's famous for illustrating what their policy is.
Okay, but your source for this claim on universal tariffs is
the GOP platform and Trump's own website.
Source. You're not saying
this is literally Trump himself saying
the policies that they're talking about enacting. You're not saying anything like that. You're just saying like, well, according to the Republican platform, according to the Republican
platform, which Trump has endorsed, and according to Trump himself. So.
Okay, but like, how detailed do you think the tariff? Because you know for a fact they're not gonna apply tariffs to things that we can't make. You know that for a fact, right?
I don't know that for a fact. No.
So
I think Trump is a fucking idiot. Wait, just so we're clear, Trump doesn't know what a tariff is, so he has no understanding of what to impose tariffs on. Find me a single clip of Trump accurately describing what a tariff is, please.
Right. This is a typical that left and right both make this mistake. You see someone really accomplished, and it's so easy to think that they're dumb when they're not. Like, the right does it with AOC. She was like 31 years old and like one of the youngest, like most influential politicians in the entire world. And all these right-wing jerks were like, oh, she's an idiot. And it's like, okay, well, you go be one of the most powerful people in the world at 31 years old.
That's great. Okay, I have a question. Can you find a single clip, just a single clip of Trump accurately describing what a tariff is? Because I don't think that exists. I've not found one yet.
I have seen him. I mean, like, no, mind you, I don't have a reference available to me. I didn't come ready with Trump talking about tariffs, but I've seen him speak about it accurately.
Okay, what did he say about them that was accurate?
I've never seen Trump get into detail on anything, man. I've never seen him like actually sit down and like say, let's get into the nuts and bolts of this shit. Like,
well, to be clear,
Chris Christie or Ro Khanna, like, he is not a let me nuts and bolts this. He's just not. Like, everything he does is a top-down salesman point of view.
I agree with you, and so, guess what? The plan isn't detailed. The plan is not at all detailed. All he says is universal tariffs. He won't even commit to an exact percentage or anything. The plan isn't detailed, but the plan is universal tariffs. You accept that, right?
Okay.
Whether or not he's going to do it, that's a stated position.
I accept that you're not saying that in bad faith. I accept that you're saying that in good faith.
Do you accept that Trump's stated position is that we should tariff most foreign goods at the very least?
Again, that's not my position. I'm not saying that you're making this shit up.
I don't care if it's your position. Do you accept that Donald J. Trump's position is that we should tariff most foreign goods?
No, what I would accept is that his position is that we should utilize tariffs to get the best deal possible for the American consumer.
Okay, what if I could show you a video of Donald Trump saying that we want to tariff most foreign goods? Would that change your mind?
Yes. Well, no. No. But I think, okay, so what did I say? I said I think that he wants to use tariffs as a weapon to get better pricing and for the American consumer, right?
You did say that.
And so, like, if you showed me, okay, that's what I said. So if you showed me a video where he said, I think we should put tariffs on most foreign goods, that does not exclude what I just said. That doesn't mean that in his heart of hearts, he doesn't believe that that's what.
Wait, I didn't say his heart of hearts. Maybe it's not in his heart of hearts. I said his stated position.
Maybe
Donald
not,
J. Trump's stated position.
We're just assuming.
I'm assuming.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
what?
I'm assuming he has bad intentions.
Wait, hold on. I'm not assuming. No, I'm not assuming anything here. First of all, my position right now is that Donald Trump's stated intention is to tariff most foreign goods. Do you agree with that or disagree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
I agree with that. You know, I think that I think that you and I think that we're differing on like both the ends and the means on this one, though. I think
well,
that
to be clear, if Trump is only using these as a threat, which I don't believe he is because he did actually do tariffs during his first term, but if Trump is only using it as a threat, that can be good if the end result is free trade. But the end result there is what's good, free trade. The tariff is not the good part.
The won't be of any value if you don't deliver, right? And the reason that we have the ability to deliver on that without hurting the American consumer, you know?
Deliver on what, sorry?
Deliver on, like, applying tariffs to other countries and not harming the American consumer.
That's literally impossible. That's not true.
It's not literally impossible. Why would you say that?
Because tariffs, by definition, raise the prices for consumers, and they lead to a decrease in consumer surplus greater than the gain in producer surplus, and they cause deadweight loss.
That's just you assuming
that's
that
not me
things
assuming
are
anything.
Stagnant. Yes, it is. You're assuming things. It's like you couldn't have predicted the iPhone, right? Like in 2004 sci-fi movies. Like they did not have their most wildest dream of a communication device was not near as capable of as the iPhone that came out 3 years later. And then the path that technology took from there was so wildly different. Right. And so once you change the global market, right? Like that's why Trump wanted to get rid of NAFTA. That's why he wanted to get rid of the TPP, which Bernie and a lot of good lefties, populist lefties, have agreed with these policies on.
Yeah, because populists were stupid.
The American consumer. These are what protect the consumer.
Nope.
Like the no tariff policy is only helping the billionaire class. Like there's no other way around it, because all it does is help us funnel the money from the lower and middle class Americans to the most elite, richest people in the country.
And okay, what
people on the other side of the world.
What are you trying to do?
Basically, we're just funneling our money to them, and they're off the backs of third world countries. And like the tariffs are going to even that field. Like it's the best chance at people in Honduras having PS5s for the same price we pay. It's the best chance for people in Cambodia to be able to get a monitor TV screen for like the same price we pay, where it's not like a month's pay. Like it is honestly the best chance at these other poorer countries to quit getting exploited.
Okay, do you accept that tariffs, at least in the short run, raise prices for consumers? In fact, that's the entire point of them.
I think that if you were to do the math based off a static model, yes.
Okay. Well, you recognize the entire point.
You're dealing with a dynamic model. I think this is incredibly dynamic, and I think that like I own a business, okay, and I purchase millions of dollars in products a year personally. Like I write the fucking check, right? And like so to me, like I understand that and I can use the government as an example because I do industry work. I do public work that's funded by the government at times, and I do private work, right? And that public work, like there's a company in Dallas where I live that is going bankrupt. And I'm not going to reveal anything. I don't want to tie anything to my company, but this company's going bankrupt, and they deal with a large aircraft company. Okay, everybody and their goddamn dog is falling over trying to get that business. You would be like, to sit here and say like, this company that takes care of this huge corporate customer is going under And just to assume that like things are just going to go poorly for that, like it's, you know what I mean? Like whenever that customer has that type of buying power, it's only a good thing for them. That big corporate customer is now going to get a better deal. They're actually going to play the market and find out, holy shit, I'm the hottest girl at the dance. Everybody wants a piece.
Okay, so but to be clear, you do accept that the entire point of a tariff is to raise the prices for consumers, right? That way there's more quantity supplied domestically.
I do not believe that's the point of a tariff. I do not believe that's the point.
Well, if they didn't raise prices, people would just...
sophistry 101 right there. But like, absolutely not. No, like I explained to you with like tariffs on dairy products.
Oh my God.
That has nothing to do with raising the price to consumers,
yes,
right?
Yes, it does. The entire point of it is raising the prices of imported dairy. Therefore, people buy more dairy domestically. That's the entire point.
It is not like in that situation.
Yes, it is.
It is to ensure that your country maintains the capability to produce dairy.
Yes, by increasing the price.
It's not through increasing the price. Well, yes, you're using it as a weapon to steer the market in a protectionary pattern. Okay, like take Haiti for example, right? Like Haiti is an incredibly unfortunate country. Really, like it's a pile of rocks in the ocean, man. It is so hard to farm or drill a well. Agriculture is a fucking nightmare over there. It is so hard to feed those people. But if they just outsource all of their agriculture and production to other countries, which they could get for cheaper, I don't
know if that's true. I think Haiti actually exports a lot of agricultural products, but okay.
No, it's not a necessity. I know, but I'm saying like if they were to completely just say, F it, it's too hard to do it here, let's outsource it. They put themselves at risk for lots of, you're basically a ward of another country at that point.
Wait, if they were to outsource...
I've let you ask me questions, and I've answered in good faith. Do you think it's possible that Donald Trump could want to use tariffs to get better prices for the American people? Do you think there's any possibility of that?
To get better prices for the American people?
Do you think he could be using this in a bid to get better prices for the American consumer?
No, I think he could be using it.
Do you think there's any chance of that?
He could be using it in a bid to help exports, but I don't think he's using it in a bid to help American consumers. At best,
Do you think that the intention then is purely to just raise prices to the consumer?
Well, one, I think Trump is a retard who doesn't know what a tariff is. And two, I think the intention is to try to bring manufacturing back, as he has stated.
Okay. Okay, I like that.
Bring American jobs back.
See,
but
here's something that I battle with the left and right, and it's on topic. Just give me 5 seconds here. I call it like the Captain Planet paradox, man. Did you ever watch Captain Planet? You're probably too young.
Nope.
Yeah, okay. Well, it was a ridiculous like eco show from the 90s, like people my age watch. And there's these villains who like their whole thing was, yes, I just want to pollute, and they would just be spreading oil all over the fucking place, like for no reason, just like these ridiculous, just creating ecological disasters just because. Like there was no profit incentive, no reason for them to dump these chemicals, and it was just these evil people doing this just for the hell of it. And like that's obviously ridiculous. And like I think that's what happens on the left and right. People look at the other side. They just want to do this just to F us. To
be clear, I didn't say that. I said Trump is a retard.
But surely like you could like have a second to think like, okay, maybe like what would incentivize him to think this is a good idea? Not like just assuming
I think he's a retard who doesn't understand economics.
If you assume his intentions were good, why would he be wanting to do this?
I am assuming his intentions are good. I am assuming that. The alternative to my assumption that Trump doesn't know what a tariff is that Trump is lying about what a tariff is. I am assuming the best intentions out of Trump. I'm assuming he's dumb rather than actively lying.
You legitimately believe that he does not know what a tariff is?
Yep.
Come on.
I have not seen a single video of him accurately describing what a tariff is. He either doesn't know what it is or he's lying. I'm going to assume the best intentions.
Yourself, then. Like, see, this is the problem, like right and left, man. Like both sides do this. It's like you guys gaslight yourselves, like you really do. Like, obviously he knows what a tariff is, man. He is like.
Wait, then why doesn't he describe it accurately? Why does he never describe it accurately?
Sold so much products. Like he has.
Then why doesn't he describe it accurately?
You're asking me why Trump talks the way he talks. Like,
I'm asking why Trump lies about what tariffs are.
Okay. I feel like at a certain point, it's kind of on you, right? Like if you got a buddy and his girlfriend keeps cheating on him and stealing from him,
this doesn't answer my question at all.
Back to her. No, I'm just saying, like, if he keeps going back to her, you eventually have to be like, bro, she's shown you who she is. Why do you not believe it? Like, Trump has shown you over and over and over again.
Wait,
that
this
he
has
is a
nothing to do with my
blowhard.
question. Why does Trump lie about what a tariff is if he knows what they are?
I think that he, even talking about tariffs, he views it as like setting policy. I think in Trump's mind, in all honesty, I think that he views the way he presents something as part of the plan. I really do. Like, and that's in all honesty. And that's me. Like, and mind you, like, I didn't like Trump, man. Like, I didn't vote for him in 2016. My whole family was like all pissed at me. I was like, no, he's a fucking clown. In 2020, I just didn't vote. I was like, fuck it, I don't like any, because I was mad at him for the CARES Act. I thought the CARES Act was bullshit. I didn't like how he, gave all that money to the bank. I didn't care. I voted for him this time out of like what I felt was necessity. So I'm not like a big Trump guy, but like I see what he is. Like I know that guy. I know the loudmouth. Who I guess I can interpret what he's saying. You know what I mean? Or maybe I give him the benefit of the doubt at this point, and you don't.
I already explained to you, I am giving him the benefit of the doubt because the alternative is he's lying. So I'm just saying he's retarded.
You're gaslighting yourself on this. I'm
gaslighting myself.
The billionaire the multi-billionaire who has bought and sold more products than me and you could ever see in our lives overseas, like, knows what a tariff is. I can assure you that, like, I'm not believing the fact that you say you don't think he knows that. I know that you believe he does.
Okay, well, to be clear, I think it's pretty likely that he's lying, but here I'm assuming good faith, and I'm just assuming that he's retarded and doesn't understand what a tariff is.
No, I'm saying that's a bit of like a derangement, like, like it's.
Wait, how's that a derangement? I've not seen a single clip of him accurately describing what a tariff is.
I've told Gamer Boy he's a little bitch in DC.
Do you understand what a tariff is? Do you think that when Trump says foreign countries pay tariffs, do you think that's accurate, or do you think that's inaccurate?
That foreign countries pay the tariffs?
Yeah, do you think that's accurate
yes,
or inaccurate?
I do believe that is accurate.
Okay,
I can
that
explain
is
why
inaccurate.
if you
You've
think
been
I'm
lied
wrong,
to.
but I can.
Nope,
I'd be happy to explain why.
Explain it.
So, if China, okay, and I don't know the numbers, so I'm not going to ask you the numbers, but let's just assume that 20% of China's gross domestic product comes from trade with the USA. Okay, we're just going to assume 20%. And Trump was going to apply a massive tariff of 100% to Chinese products. And that caused us to find other vendors through Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam. And that dropped, hang on, let me just finish the point. I think you can see where I'm getting, but I'll go ahead and finish. And that caused that trade amount to go from 20% to 15%. That 5% is a massive hit to that GDP. And so, and who's gonna and who pays that price? Well, the American people found another vendor. We still have our product, and now China is the one who's dealing with the negative on this. Like, you see how,
it's more expensive though, right? It's more expensive in Cambodia.
And in that situation, China ate the loss, right?
Nope, it's more expensive.
Because we didn't eat the loss. We found in my scenario, we found a comparable vendor where we're not paying any more.
Wait, okay, great. Comparable vendor. Price. Wait, why aren't we paying? Why wasn't it made there before? If it was cheaper to make it there before?
The same reason that the new customers I hire aren't using me now. Like, what do you mean? Like, what? Contracts change hands every year.
We're getting X good from China. We're getting X amount of X good from China, and now we're getting Y amount of X good from another country.
People's availability change. There may be a guy who starts a company next week that takes me down. Like, people change hands every year. Someone finds a way to give it to you better. Why did I quit going to Quiznos? You know what I mean? Why did Blockbuster? Like, it's like things change hands. And I guarantee you that outside of a select few products, every item we get, we could source from another country for the same price right now. We just happen to have cut a deal with those people. Just like I told you, with the public work I take on in the public sector, any one of us assholes could do the same job. Any one of us asshole contractors that are, HUD certified and, on the list of qualified vendors, we could all do the job just as well. So to say, like, how come I haven't got the new, airport under construction then, even though I have the capabilities to do it, is a ridiculous question.
Well, the reason you didn't get it is because the person purchasing the contract or whatever got a better deal from the other person, just like the reason we don't...
If we could just bring in the president of Indonesia right now and say, hey, we hear that you guys have a lot of capabilities in the textile industry. We're looking to find other vendors to get textiles from. What could y'all do in this market? We're dealing with China right now. I guarantee you, he would say, "Oh my God, we could accommodate you. We could accommodate you right now." I swear to you, that would happen. Like, I would bet the house on. I'd bet the house on it.
Okay, so the reason you wouldn't get the whatever contract for building the airport is because the person building the airport found a better deal than you They thought that for whatever reason,
okay, like that's just that. I'm not even gonna get into the nuances of that with you because people lose jobs for being too low at times. Like there's more to that. There's relationships. There's bird in the hand.
Well, by
is worth
better
two in the
deal, I
bush.
don't just mean
You'd rather deal with
cheaper.
the beast.
By better deal, I don't mean just mean cheaper.
The
Maybe it was
one,
more expensive, but it was higher quality. They chose them over you
okay,
because they
like,
prefer.
Here's what I'm telling you is this, and this is, and I think that there's no way for either of us to prove this, right? So like, I'm gonna just try to like, it's like I say, in the example I laid out, where you have another vendor available that is going to fall over themselves to try to get your business. They can't wait. And they're telling you, we can accommodate all that you're getting from China and we'll do it for the same price or better, right? Just follow me out. Let's just say that can happen, even though I know it can, but you don't. Let's just say it could. In that situation, who holds the L? Right? It's like someone lost business, someone lost money. The American people still got the same product for the same money, the same quality. Vietnam now made a lot of money. The U.S. company still made their money. Who holds the L in that situation?
In that situation, China would be harmed. But one, that's kind of separate.
So in that situation, the country that Trump applied the tariffs to is then going to pay the price of that tariff. They're going to hold that L.
Well, no, there's some of the incidents would fall on them, but like one,
you see how
I understand.
Like some childish,
well, no, I understand what you're doing with this argument.
The other country would pay it.
Well, I understand what you're doing in this argument, but one, Trump wants universal tariffs to bring jobs back to America. He doesn't want them be in Vietnam either. Two, I deny that this can happen in most goods. If it was the same price or cheaper to make them in Vietnam, if it was cheaper to make them in Vietnam, they'd already be made in Vietnam. I deny this can happen to the majority of goods, at least. And thirdly, the point of my actual question is that a lot of times people literally believe that we are taxing China, when in reality, the person who imports it pays the tariff. You accept that third point, right? The person who buys an imported product pays the tariffs.
It's part of the cost of production.
Well,
it's part of the production cost.
Well, yeah, you accept. So
yes,
it sounds like you accept that they pay the tariff, and that money goes to the U.S. government. We're not taxing China; we're taxing people here.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
The third point is what a lot of people reject because they don't understand how tariffs work. So I wanted to get that point done. And also to be clear, Trump wants to bring not jobs from China to Vietnam, but from jobs from China to the U.S. He doesn't want them in Vietnam. He doesn't want them anywhere
which I think, obviously, I think is a net good for society all around. I think the fact that everybody's so comfortable exploiting, these other countries is like we should be like, did you ever learn what the TPP was? Trans-Pacific Trade Partnership?
I'm not familiar. I'm broadly familiar with it. Yeah, I think it was a really good thing, and it sucks that Trump pulled out of it.
It was a legitimate way to remove any bit of protectionism that we had in our economy to protect our American consumers and to make it as easy as possible to exploit all of the Pacific seaboard, like all of like Cambodia, all of Southeast Asia under China. It was just specifically targeted to just turn them all into basically human slaves for the benefit of billionaires. And so like whenever I hear this globalism stuff, they present it as a way to balance out, and it doesn't balance out. It doesn't. It always, the scale is always tipped in the favor of the billionaire every time. Every time.
Well, even let's say it helps billionaires more than it helps the middle class. You accept that it could also help the middle class, though, right?
Oh yeah, no, I mean pragmatically, you have to accept that at times. That's perfectly fair to accept. But I think that it's also fair to accept that countries working together in a cooperatively, economically, right? Cooperatively, I think can still have nationalistic interest and protectionist policies and be best and be still good trade partners and find what's best for each other. In fact, I think it would be better. I think it would be better for Bolivia if they had some protectionist policies over their lithium and didn't just let America come in and rape them. And they were able to sell that lithium for money to enrich their people.
Sense. You do protectionist policies to prevent imports. You don't do protectionist policies to stop. I mean, to help with exports.
To not let another country come in and take over your fucking minerals? To let the lithium in Bolivia is enough to create so much industry in that country, but it's not. All that money from that industry is going to the C-suite in downtowns throughout the U.S., not to the Bolivians. And that's globalism. That's globalism. Globalism is
the U.S. is
Bolivians
investing.
fucking dig the hole and get the rocks out for you, and they get paid $1 a day, and then some fucking suit who doesn't even realize it, working for a commodities company and a minerals trading company in Chicago, making 450 grand a year, is getting rich, and Bolivia suffers.
Well, you realize
Like,
that
that's
whatever
every
lithium
time.
firm preferred to take the capital investment from the Americans as compared to the Bolivians, maybe because the Bolivians didn't have enough money to fund it, right? Like there are good
Well,
reasons why this
I mean,
happens.
Perhaps, right? But like, let's just say
Perhaps.
that, like, the same way that, like, that's like basically what that's basically you're making you're basically defending a payday loan guy, right? You're basically saying, like, these predatory payday loan companies, well, hey, if they had money, they wouldn't have to come in and leverage their future for a paycheck today. You know what I mean? But you're basically saying, well, it's too bad they didn't have the resources they had to leverage their whole future to be slaves for the corporate world.
Well, I mean,
Like, and that's what globalism does, like, whether you like it or don't. And tariffs, like, have been shown to, like, benefit national, like, it's a nationalistic policy that helps protect.
To be clear, I don't want to be too involved, but to be clear, no, they have not. We have multiple studies on.
yeah, I can
effects of
cite you
tariffs.
multiple studies.
They-
I was
wait,
waiting for you to
can-
say who they benefited, but
Yeah.
you're wrong no
But
matter
wait a
what.
second, we have like look, go, wait, just quickly. I mean, I think I'm not an economist. I try to study economics, but I'm not an economist. I don't have a degree. I think economists are honest, good people who seek the truth. And when I look at their analyses, every time by professional, well-intentioned, not ideological, non-partisan economists, they find consistent results, which are that tariffs increase prices on imports. That's their goal. They're a tax on imports. They're paid by the businesses who import. Not, but you may say they hurt China, and in that way, China suffers from the tariffs. But the one who pays the tariff because it's a tax is the business. So they increase wages on import. They increase prices on imports. They lower productivity. They lower growth. If you lower productivity, you lower wages. They lower employment. They increase exchange rates, which means less imports. They're just not good. The only case where you can do, or a good case for tariffs would be in national security, but like not on like washing machines and steel, bro, which is what like Trump did, and he wants
Well,
to do even more.
let's
It's just,
just
can you cite anything? Can you cite a study on this? Or I don't want to be a study bro,
yes,
but like
okay,
we have a lot to study.
let's not even do a study. Let's just do, like, a real world, like, let's just play this out then, right? Like, if that's the case, and the economists are correct, so
Yeah,
let's just
Uh-huh.
limit this to the G7 countries.
yeah.
Which of the G7 countries doesn't have tariffs as a protectionist policy within their economy?
Doesn't
Well,
have
they all
any
do
tariffs?
tariffs to an extent, but it doesn't mean that it's good.
Which country in general? Because there are a few countries that don't. I think, like, Singapore is like the only other one that's like the U.S. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me. I think
Sure.
Singapore is pretty chill on tariffs.
Yeah, but the fact that they do it doesn't mean that it's good. Like, every country has like price controls. I don't
There's
think price
that, and then
controls-
I
That's
doubt
a
any
fair
of them have an
argument.
average tariff rate of above 10%. They don't have.
That's a fair argument. That's a fair argument to make, to say just because everybody does it doesn't mean it is. But then, like, why don't we hear time and
'Cause it's
time again
popular.
how the
It's
European consumer is suffering so horribly?
How many? I mean, I don't think they're suffering. It benefits some people, right? It benefits. It's protectionist. It protects some people to the detriment of everyone else.
What do you think
Right?
is holding
So
back?
wait. When the government protects like a specific group, like farmers in Europe, it's especially bad with farmers, and everyone else suffers like if you benefit farmers like let's say 50%, but everyone else in the economy suffers like 1%, you do way more harm than good. But the people who are harmed, they don't feel it as much as the people who are protected, right? So it is bad for everyone. Like it is bad in net effect.
Well, like,
It's just like less people talk about it.
there's more than one reason for, like, I don't know if you heard us talk about the dairy stuff earlier, the farm stuff earlier. And one of the main reasons for that is, like, you don't want to dry your own well up. You don't want your country to stop producing agriculture or meat, even though you can outsource it plentiful and cheaply. Because if, who knows what's going to happen with global politics? Who knows when Russia's going to invade Ukraine? Who knows what's going to happen? And now you got no way to fucking make milk. So, like, regardless of the economics of it, this boils down to is what it is. Like, if I live in Compton, I got to put fucking bars on my windows whether I like them or don't. You know what I mean?
Well,
like, it's one of
well, first of all,
it's
it's
one
two
of those
things.
deals,
If
like,
well, for one, free trade promotes like peace. So if we have more free trade,
we are less
Yeah,
likely to
but
have wars in
okay.
the first place
Well,
because
peace
Russia's
is a
economy
pipe
will
dream.
get fucked over
Peace
it.
is a pipe
Wait,
dream.
wait,
That's an abstract thought to begin with, bro.
no, we have
I
studies on
mean,
this. We have studies on
yeah.
the effect, the peaceful effects of trade. Wait, just real quick, real quick. We have like tons of studies.
Right now, dude.
We have tons of studies on the like. There was a great study. Okay, it looked over 150 countries in over 50
Localist,
years.
join
Okay,
the
so
VC,
you say,
bro.
okay, let's
If
look
you're,
at the
if you're
big
so
countries.
confident, join
It
the
looked
VC.
at the
Like
big
what?
at the big countries and then some. Okay, so it looked at over 150 countries. It had a time span of over 50 years. It's very comprehensive. It came out like a few years ago. It's very recent too. And guess what it found? Like Nonfon, you have this study. You want to read to him like the important part?
Wait, which one?
It
Sorry.
found like what I said, the IMF one.
Yeah, sure. The IMF study looked at 151 countries from 1963 to 2014. Found that tariffs in the medium term led to a result in higher unemployment, higher inequality, and real exchange rate appreciation, and only have small effects on trade balance.
And also, it increased exchange rates, which hurts imports. It decreased productivity, which hurts wages, and it decreased growth, which hurts everyone. It's just like we have the
Critically
data.
thinking
I'm
veteran.
fine with like someone making a theoretical argument of like, oh, the tariffs will actually protect all the jobs and they'll come back. But you have to concede that if the tariffs bring the jobs quote back, then we'll have a higher price, right? Because if they could sell the product for cheaper in the United States, they would have done it already. Why would they?
It can be done cheaper. What's to be done is like, see, this is where you're like, just imagine you are a business and you want a customer, okay?
God. Yep.
And you find out, holy shit, the relationship between the greatest customer there's ever been of all time and their current vendor is on the rocks. What can we do to lock that fucking business up? I'll give you an example. Another
trade
example.
with other people, bilateral trade agreements, or
I'll give you another example.
Wait, brass.
Example.
I'm super fine with getting jobs back to the United States. The way to do that is not a tariff. What about a tax credit? Just give companies a tax credit. If you ship your goods back to the United States, I'll give you a tax credit. Why about that?
And that's gonna go right through Congress, right? Because tax credits, you can't do that through executive order. You can't do that through executive order. You know damn well that you cannot do a tax credit through executive order.
We did do this with semiconductors, by the way. The CHIPS Act got passed, and that does have tax credits for people making semiconductors. So we did this.
Exactly. Wait, brass. Real quick. We agree that tax credits are better than tariffs, right? If you could do them, it's better than tariffs, right?
No, I don't agree with that.
You know why not?
Why do you even bring up
tax credits? Tax credits, yes. Not like a a tax credit, like where you could like write off a certain amount of your taxable income, right?
That's a tax credit. Yeah, that's what it. Oh, or you mean a deduction?
Yeah, like I would rather. I mean, I'm not into a tax. I don't want it to be a tax.
Yeah, a deduction is when you write up. So a deduction is when you say that's like deduction decreases what is taxed, and a credit is like you decrease what you need to pay.
You just get $3,000.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. So you can do like it's equivalent to a subsidy. You can do a tax credit, right? Like I don't love either.
We're looking at tariffs to fight inflation. We're looking at tariffs to eliminate
tariffs increase inflation. Tariffs increase inflation, though. Tariffs increase inflation. Wait, brass. Think about it. Wait, brass. Think about it. Tariffs increase inflation. If a company could just move to the United States and produce it for cheaper, why are they not doing it already? People will buy from them if they can sell it for cheaper.
Well, I will tell you. I would be happy to tell you that. I will answer you in two parts. So the first question: if they could do it cheaper, why are they not doing it cheaper right now? Right? Okay. Yeah. I do a certain service that I provide to customers, and it's like a kind of a maintenance regulatory thing with the state that has to be done, and I charge about $250 to do this on a regular basis. Well, the Dallas Cowboys Stadium has about 400 of these items that need to be certified. I do those for $25 a piece. Okay, so why don't I do it cheaper for everybody? Why?
Well, maybe because you can. Maybe because no. I'm not saying. Look, if I tax you, you're not going to be able to do it for cheap now.
So what I'm saying is like prices are not static. It's not static. It's dynamic.
I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they are. Look. This is a bad example because I don't think you produce anything, right? You do a service, right? It sounds like you're doing a service. Think of it like this: if someone is producing shirts, right? Like I'm a consumer, I want to buy what's cheapest at the same quality. Yeah. Okay, so if someone can produce a shirt, let's say a shirt from China costs like $20. Okay, and if someone can move to the United States and produce it for $15, why are they not doing it already?
Okay, yes, I don't think they can. I don't think they can.
So tariffs will not be able.
So that's inflationary,
in that
right?
instance, but like I just gave it a Google, man. I'm not finding this universal tariffs. Like I'm not finding.
Wait,
them.
I can send you the link.
I don't like any tariffs that are not national security. I don't like tariffs that are like not. When Trump, like, for example, when Trump like did a tariff on washing machines and steel, I think that was bad. I think every study bears out that that was bad.
Yeah.
And again, we have the studies. We cited to you data over 150 countries in 50 years. Okay, that's a lot of data by professional, world-class economists in a very credited institution, the IMF. Okay, the commies hate it, but I love the IMF. Okay, and it like finds that it has almost every bad effect you can imagine. It's just
okay. Okay, I totally get why y'all are saying that, right? And I'm not going to go into. I don't agree with the IMF statistics on the matter. I think that those studies were written to accomplish a goal. I think that research was done with an answer in mind. But I'm going to assume that it's factual, okay, and not like debate that part with you. Like my point to you is just to ask you, like, why, like, legitimately, like, why do you, and not assuming for just villainous reasons, like just assuming that the Trump side and Trump team is wanting to impose tariffs for a good reason. Why do you think that is? Why do you think
I think it's popular. Good? I think it's popular. I think in swing states they used to manufacture more, and a lot of people although the manufacturing has not really disappeared, but a lot of people feel like it is. So a lot of people have misguided feelings about the economy, and Trump promises them false hopes, and they vote for him because of that. I mean, that's
and
the
on
case
top
of
of that,
populist.
it's been observed that people have a zero-sum bias.
I'm an Israeli American. Okay. Wait. I'm an Israeli American. Okay. I can tell you right now. I mean, people tax. We have a lot of it. Like what do you call it? We have tariffs on like a bunch of stuff, like even cars or some dumb shit. We don't produce cars. The cars we produced in Israel are terrible. Okay, they were a joke. Okay, but still, people feel like you need to do the fucking protectionist policy on car imports because like to protect industry because they feel like what's ever made in the country, it's patriotic and blah blah blah. It's populism and I think Trump is lying about tariffs. Nonfon believes he's dumb. I'm not sure if he's that dumb, but I think he's lying. I think he's lying to people.
If I'm assuming good faith, he's dumb.
I'm less good faith than you. I'm more inclined because look, he says something false. So if you say something false, you either don't know what you're talking about or and you're lying. I think he's lying.
Here's what I'm trying to get across to you is like I believe that I could like steelman your argument. Right? Like I think I could.
Is the steel of the steelman a tariff? Because then you can't, right? It's a joke.
Oh, I got you. But like, what I'm saying is if you go through that exercise of like, let me actually like assume, not just assume the worst. Let me not just assume Orange Man bad. This is done to like, let's just take this in good faith and say like, okay, why does he think this is a good idea? Let me actually like go through the logic and try to understand this. I think you might be like, okay, well, maybe he does think we can get better prices with this. Maybe he thinks we can shore up. Find other vendors, find other sources. I don't think it's purely about products being imported. I think it's equally about export,
manufacturing
which you're not touching on.
Well, I think when politicians like Bernie or whoever not, or in Israel, a lot of communists, we have in Israel, we have we call them commissions about like price controls. They're literally called Soviets, okay, because it was inspired by the Soviets, okay. I don't know how we still have them. It's insane, but they do price controls on like dairy, on cucumbers, or on a bunch of stuff, okay. I think that's evil. I think that's insane. I don't think people implemented them with malicious intent. I just think people were dumb, economically illiterate, and it sounds popular to people. Price controls sound very popular to people, right? Like, oh, you mean something is cheaper now? I want it.
If you vote democratically, people would probably choose price controls. I agree with you. Yeah.
Well, I'm a Democrat, but a lot of progressives like price controls, right? I don't think they're. I just think they're dumb. Yeah, I think they're just kind of economically illiterate.
Price controls, even like Trump voters would select for price controls.
They have already.
Yeah, they always do.
What?
They always do.
Yeah, because it's popular, right?
It's not their
money.
We
agree it's bad policy. Right?
Yes.
And I can explain to you the rationale of price controls. It doesn't make it a good policy. So I can explain to you the rationale for. I can explain to you.
What I'm saying to you is, I think that you're operating from this is only a negative. This can only be used for bad. There's no
you can deal with price control and it will be good. You can do a good price control, but that's not what people are proposing. When people are proposing a price control, they propose it on fucking whatever. It's not about like monopolistic firms or whatever.
Look, as far as what I know, what I've heard Trump say is that this is just as much about as exports as it is imports. I feel like you guys are only focused on the import side of this. You're not focused on the export side of this. You're not considering that. Because that's a big part of it. It's a very big part.
They decrease again. Wait. If you have a stronger currency, you agree that decreases. If exchange rates increase, that means exports decrease, right?
No,
that's yes.
That is absolutely not true. That is absolutely.
If the dollar is stronger, if
the exchange rate between the U.S. and Great Britain falls and the pound ain't worth fuck. But all of a sudden, Great Britain.
No. It's the opposite. If the dollar is worth more, exports decline, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
So if tariffs lead to exchange rate appreciation, which is the dollar getting stronger, then exports decrease, which is what the best study I could find on this found.
But that's again, you're just assuming things are stagnant, right? Like that's like you're just
no, it's a study on over 50 years. That's the least static thing ever.
Let me ask you a question. If Germany has a 100% tariff on American cars,
horrible,
and yes, right? If they have a 100% tariff on American cars, if they change that to 0% tariff on American cars, do you think we would sell more American cars in Germany?
Wait, this is nothing. Again, resorting to Trump using tariffs as a threat. We're not debating that right now.
Wait. The argument was if Germany repeals their tariffs, would we benefit?
Yes, would Americans sell more cars in Germany?
Yes, because tariffs hurt.
Would that be in the case? Do you not see the logic of Trump saying, "Hey, I want to fucking see some F-150s on the Autobahn. I want to see some Chrysler Pacificas with, some Deutschland children in there. That's what I want right now. And if you don't, open up your market and give me a chance to sell there, I'm going to close my market back to you." Why would you not want that? If we agree...
Well, that's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying.
Here's the thing.
Well, I think the best way to do it. Is trade agreements. It's not fucking.
We tried that. You don't think we've tried that?
And it's good. Yeah, we have, and it's good.
Yeah, we have.
You think the American lobby? You think the American
we tried,
lobby
and
is not trying to get
we have the TPP, we have NAFTA. They all been a success. It's good. They're good.
Come on, dude. You think the American auto lobby has not tried to get the EU to remove tariffs? Just for a second, think about that.
That has nothing to do with the claim that we
I don't care.
Okay?
I don't care. Businesses can do good stuff. Businesses can do bad stuff. Do you think
if tariffs are so bad, why are we just letting these sons of bitches tariff our American companies?
We don't control what they do.
I don't want them to.
Volkswagen come over here, carte blanche.
I don't want Germany to suffer, though. I don't want Germany to suffer. Well, look. It's kind of funny. You were saying Trump wants to do tariffs because tariffs are bad, right? You're saying, Trump realizes that Germany's tariffs are bad, so he wants to do his own tariffs, so Germany repeals their tariffs. That's not what he did, though. That's not what he did. He did trade. He did tariffs on. He did tariffs on China without them starting with tariffs on us. China retaliated with tariffs. They didn't decrease their tariffs.
No, we did tariffs. We did tariffs on the steel industry, and there was for more than one reason.
And China did not repeal their tariffs. They initiated their own tariffs.
The number one factor that promoted it, because it's not what everybody acts like it was. Everybody acts like it was xenophobia or China bullshit. Why did Trump specifically, and why today does it still stay the tariff on steel? I want you to answer that question. I don't
wanted
think
to protect American jobs and bring.
No, there was a specific circumstance that caused this.
In 2018, I don't remember now.
So U.S. Steel, from the Carnegies, U.S. Steel their shareholders were trying to sell out to Nippon Steel in Japan. Okay? That was going to happen. It was on the books to happen. And that's why Trump said, you can't. If we get rid of our fucking steel production in this country and something happens...
That's what I said, though, to protect
exactly, yeah. We literally said to protect steel jobs.
We don't live in fantasy land, dude. We can't...
But I said protect manufacturing. I said that.
To pretend that we can outsource our steel is insane.
Wait, first of all, this wouldn't even be outsourcing our steel.
Wait. Just listen to what I said. You said I was wrong. I said he did the tariffs to protect manufacturers or like producers of steel. Like I was right. I don't know why you said I was wrong.
Because so you think that we should have not done that? You think we should have?
Yes, I don't think we should have done that.
The only way we had to stop the sale.
Wait, you understand? You understand? Okay, wait. What do you think? Wait. Here's the question. Wait. You agree that if you do tariffs on steel, I agree, you protect the people who produce steel. But you agree that you hurt the people who consume steel?
Okay. I think you're acting like this is some trivial matter. You cannot outsource your steel production. It's a non-negotiable, right?
Wait, I'm trying to have a productive conversation. I want to see what we agree and where we agree and when we disagree. Okay, because I have the data on this. I have the facts on it. I want to see if I can not clue you in. That sounds condescending, but if I could make you understand my point of view. So look. For you agree that I agree, tariffs, they protect manufacturing. Okay, they help the people who currently produce steel in the United States. Do you agree that they hurt the people who consume steel from abroad, right?
No.
Or they generally make steel more expensive, right? That's like economics 101. Tariffs make the product more expensive. That's their goal.
That's their whole point, yep.
Yes. Well, yes, but okay. I believe that tariffs are used as a device to steer the market.
Sure. And for we still have the tariff, so it's not okay. Whatever. So if we agree that they help the people who produce steel but hurt the people who consume steel, for every one person who produces steel, how many consumers of steel do you think there is? Like, is it 10-1, 5-1, 100-1? Where do you think it
is? What I'm trying to get across to you is it's irrelevant.
Wow.
Right? Like, it doesn't matter. It's like paying for auto insurance affects every single car driver, right? Like every single car driver. But it's a necessary evil. We don't have the option of not having auto insurance. Just like
I want to look. Can
you just answer the question?
If something hurts a lot more people than it helps by the margins, or look, I'll give you the answer. Okay, that I was at. I asked you a question. I'll give you the answer. For every producer of steel, there are 80 consumers of steel. So even if we assume that we protect the people who produce steel 50 times as much as the people that consume steel, it's still going to have net bad effects because there are 80 times more of them. Okay, this is insane to think that the tariffs on steel were good. They hurt a lot more people by a lot more.
I think you're missing my point. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Is there is no world where the most powerful country in the world can outsource its steel. So let me finish this point. Okay. So as a country, I heard you guys, talking to the communist guy earlier. So I think we all agree that we don't like communism and we're not trying to have the government control private property.
I don't think okay, sure.
Yeah, so obviously we don't think that the government can come in and say, fuck you, U.S. Steel. You cannot sell to Nippon Steel.
Well, you realize the government's coming in and saying, fuck you, you can't buy foreign steel, right?
Hang on. Let me, this is the only method we had. And again, you don't have an option. This is steel.
Well, but you're the one who wants the government intervention. I don't want the government intervention. I'm a capitalist.
Yeah, exactly.
Israeli American. Imagine if the Israelis had to import steel right now. You can't. You can't.
We do. What do you mean? We do. We already do. What? We do. We don't produce very much steel at all. I'll give you an example. This is the funniest. This is my favorite. Wait. I'll give you an example. This is my funniest. Wait. Just one second. Okay, we have the war right now going on. Okay, Turkey. They did. Turkey. Wait a second. Turkey completely. I think we import a lot of bricks or fucking what is it? I think bricks. I think it's bricks. But we import a lot of bricks from Turkey, okay? And then Turkey was like, oh no, Israel's super bad. We're gonna shut down all exports to Israel of bricks, okay? And you know what the people who produce bricks in Turkey did? They just went to another port and just magically exported from that port to us, okay? Just they circumvented the tariff because we do rely on imports. They cannot just afford to block our exports. It's just bad. It's ineffective. If that's what the market wants, it's pretty much if the people are informed in the market, that's a good policy to do, and people will do it no matter what. I think it's good. I don't like the government intervening and deciding how the market should be run. I don't know what you wanted.
But okay. you're taking chances that you just can't. Like it's like you start to see things in perspective the larger scale you get. Like when I was starting my business, I used to think it was all about like it was all about the risk that I was willing to take, right? Well, now I can't do that because I've got all these employees counting on me. I've got all these guys with 4 children, 5 children with wives that are all so these risks I'm making, they affect everybody. So it's like the decisions that I would make aren't necessarily the decisions that I make for my company now because it's not just me on the line. I've got all these other people counting on it, right? And so when you're the government, you can't just think, okay, what's going to get me the lowest dollar on steel? What's going to get me the lowest dollar on eggs? That's not you can't have that perspective. These are humans. Like it's not just a matter of numbers. You have to take that into account. You have to take into account that you have to keep us safe. You have to think, fuck, we don't want to be Ukraine and have Russia come in. We don't want to have COVID happen and not be able to make rubber fucking gloves again. You know what I mean?
If our economies are interlinked,
we want to be able to
that's
do
why I
that
like
shit on
trade.
the
If
road.
your economies are interlinked, you have less wars. I mean,
But you're only operating on a dollars and cents perspective, and then you're acting like I'm being like unreasonable because I'm taking into account that there's more than just money on the line.
well, I'm
You know
not.
what I
I
mean?
just
It's
said
not
there's
just-
more than money on the line. There's peace on the line too. If you do trade, it's more peace. It promotes peace. We have the
but,
data
like,
on it.
You can't
Send me that data, by the way.
To assume an
Look it up.
assumed
Look
peace
it up.
is assuming
It's a lot of
failure,
work.
right? Peace has got to be a pleasant surprise.
Okay, wait. Okay, let's go point by point. Okay, so there's the political economy aspect and there's the economy aspect of it. Do we agree
Thank you,
tariffs hurt your
Afterglow,
consumers'
for the
economy?
for the sub. I appreciate
Just
it.
on the economy, purely on the dollars, and then let's get to the politics of
No, we
tariffs.
don't. We don't agree on that.
Oh, Localist joined. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah,
So
of course.
okay, they hurt consumers. We agree they hurt consumers.
No,
Why
we
not?
don't agree.
How not?
We don't agree to that.
Economically, they hurt consumers. It will cost more.
Yep, that's
That's
the whole point.
like assuming a stagnant market.
No, not assuming a stagnant market. Assuming a market.
What do you mean? Like so why do you say that? So like okay, so we like because I don't agree. I don't agree with your universal tariffs. I
Tariffs.
haven't
Look.
seen any
Here's my
proposal for
claim.
that.
Tariffs make the price
Wait.
higher than it would have been without them.
Let me
That's
just
my
say
claim.
this: if we're arguing on just a flat tariff of say 20%, a certain percentage for industry,
No, on any
right?
commodity. Oh, no. Look, assuming there is not a national security concern. Let's take washing machines. Okay, washing machines are not a national concern. Okay, so
You're
if we
just
had a
saying
president,
non-targeted. You're saying non-targeted tariffs.
well, no, a specific
What
targeted
do you-
tariff
yeah.
on washing machines. On washing
like
machines.
Okay.
On washing
you're
machines.
saying-
Let's
if you're
walk it
saying-
through. Tell me where my story stops making sense. Okay.
Okay.
So we
here's-
import
the thing
washing
I'm trying to
machines.
figure out-
Wait. We import. Tell me your story. Tell me when it stops making sense. Okay. Our country, we're called the U.S. and we import a lot of washing machines from this country called China. Okay. Now we have a president and he says, okay, I want to do tariffs on your imports. Okay, so now every unit you import from China of washing machines, it will cost more, right? That's what a tariff does. It increases the tax on the import.
Yes.
So therefore, the businesses who import it or you pay more. Okay, so now it costs me more to import. Okay, well, let's say now a little bit of businesses that produced in China now move to the United States to produce. Well, they produce it for a higher price than they produced it in China. That's why they went to China to produce it for cheaper. If they could produce it for cheaper in the United States, they would have done it already. So even the businesses who move back to the United States and don't shut down or whatever, the businesses who move to the United States produce it for a higher price. So both my imports are more expensive and my domestic consumption is more expensive now. So as a consumer, everything I buy is more expensive now. Where's
I agree 100%.
where's the cheapness?
I agree 100%.
Okay, so
Okay,
they
so
do.
it seems
I
like
can tell you where
they
you're
increase
wrong.
prices, they hurt
I can tell you why
consumers.
that's not how it works. If you want,
Well, so we agree tariffs hurt consumers. When I say hurt, they mean that they make the price
we
higher
don't
than it
agree.
would.
I agree with what you're saying, but I don't agree
Okay,
that's
you
the
said you
reality
didn't-
of the
you
situation.
didn't
I
agree.
don't think that's the reality of the situation.
That's where is it wrong? Where did I describe something
If you'll
wrong?
let me explain it, I will. Here we go.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
first of all, if we're like a prerequisite. If we're talking about universal tariffs, if you're saying just tariffs for
Wait,
the
no, we're
fuck
just talking
of
about
it,
tariffs for one thing
with
right
no, hang on, tariffs with no economic goal in mind other than we're just going to add a tariff to it. Yes, I agree that there is only potential negatives. Only right? But I have not seen that. You'd have to show me that's the case. All I've seen is that every tariff we're going to do is targeted and specific. And we're doing that, we're targeting that tariff for a reason, either to increase our exports to that country and sell more products abroad with the manufacturing we already have in place, with the companies we already have in place, or to get a better price on the product that we're bringing in, like making it in America or getting it through other vendors. Like, I've only known it to be used as a economic weapon. So that's why I don't agree with what you're saying. It's not. I don't think it's just what you're saying is he's just adding tax to goods. I don't think he's just adding tax to goods. I think he's
does that. Let's say he does it to protect the domestic business.
To leverage the power of the U.S. economy to get the best deal possible for the American consumer.
Okay, wait, but it's not the best deal. It's not the best deal. Wait. Okay.
To get me and you a better deal.
So I'll give you an example. So let's say we have in the United States, we have a washing machine company called Whirlpool. Okay, you know them?
Yep.
Whirlpool. Okay, they're a washing machine company in the United States. Now let's say they compete with two washing machine companies in South Korea called LG and Samsung. Okay, they produce washing machines. Okay, so they compete, and the president wants to do tariffs to protect the Whirlpool in the United States. Okay, right. So he does it for an economic reason. He wants to protect the business in the United States. Okay, well, now why are people choosing to buy from LG and Samsung in South Korea? Because it's cheaper, right?
Yes, correct.
So when he tariffs LG and Samsung, well, now the business that sells it for a higher price is protected, and people buy from the higher price business. That means they buy something for a higher price.
Well, let me ask you this.
Just realize. Wait, will you agree on that?
Can you? Yeah, just answer that.
No, we do. I agree.
Okay, that was the example. What I described to you was the tariff that Trump did on washing machines. That's what he did.
I agree. Now, let me ask you this, though. Let me just counter this one thing, because this is a world where people make deals. It's not like we can't just play this out on a computer program, and you know what I mean?
Well, this is what happened. We play this out in real life.
What happened? I described to you a real life situation. This happened.
I'm not done. Let me address
it. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's just say the two South Korean companies come up to Donald Trump after he put these tariffs, right? And they say, hey, fuck. We're not going to be able to sell our products over there. This is, what can we do as South Koreans to get rid of these tariffs? What can we do to get fair trade? And he says, hey, if you'd let me sell my Ford Fiestas that are 4 cylinders and meet your country's emission standards and your engine requirements, if you let me sell these cars over here with no tariff, I'd be happy to drop the tariffs on your technology. And then what if they said in exchange, holy shit, what a deal. Okay, we'll do it. So then all of a sudden we hire 10,000 more auto workers in the U.S. We have no more tariffs on washing machines, and we're selling more cars in South Korea, and we're getting our fucking cheap washing machines too.
So you're saying we sell more? So I want to understand this.
Impossible to you.
Fine. I want to understand this. So you say we export more. You said cars or motorcycles?
No, here's what I'm saying is you
wait. I want to engage you.
No, okay. It's dumb.
Bro, I missed something you said. Let me understand. Wait. So you said we export more motorcycles or cars? What did you say?
What?
You said we export to them more vehicles, right?
No, I'm saying in your scenario, right, that you laid out with South Korea, Samsung, LG, and Maytag, whoever here in America, right? And Trump imposed tariffs, and we sell less washing machines over there, blah, 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 your little scenario.
No, we buy less. We buy more expensive.
You're assuming static. So let's say that Trump says, I'm
not assuming anything static. I'm not assuming
because I don't think you're getting my point. Like, whoever, say, one of these governments imposes tariffs on the other, and it's going to severely affect or say they do impose tariffs.
Okay.
And it affects the sales of washing machines, and it affects the price of washing machines for the other country, right?
Sure.
Like you said, it's all bad, correct?
Well, it's bad.
Let's just fast forward to that point where it's all bad. Let's just go there. We agree it's all bad, right?
Yeah,
I agree with what you said. Your premise, we're there, we did the tariffs, the other country is selling less washing machines, the one country's paying more, it's all bad, right?
Good. Okay, good. Now what?
Now, one of the governments goes to the other and says, hey, why'd you impose this tariff on me? What can I do to remove this tariff? And he says, I'll tell you what. if you would remove your tariffs from my small engine vehicles and let me sell those in your market, I would be happy to remove this tariff on washing machines. And then the South Korean government says, hey, that sounds like a great deal. I will remove that tariff. I will, since that's what your deal is, I'll agree to that. You can sell more cars over here.
Do you think that's what happened?
Hang on, let me
you
finish.
think that's what happened? Okay, I get it.
Let me continue to sell as we were.
We get what you're saying.
Wait. So I agree. So two things. I think one. Wait. I agree. So our goal. Wait, Brass. You have to let me respond. So our goal. You say our goal is to do the tariff so we can eventually promote more free trade, right? It's not fair that they tariff us. They hurt themselves, but they don't realize it. But they tariff us. It hurts them, but they don't realize it. So we do our tariff. Wait, let me finish, bro. I cannot yell. I'm in a very thin walls. Okay, so look, we do our tariffs to promote more free trade because they tariff us. They don't realize that it's bad for them, but they still do it. And we want to do our tariffs so both of us can reduce the tariffs and have more free trade. Okay, did that happen? No. Trump's tariffs on washing machines did not work. He didn't cancel them because South Korea canceled their own tariffs. They just expired because he never repealed them. Okay, they expired under Biden, or I don't remember when, but they had to expire. They were not like canceled by Trump. Trump did his tariffs to protect Whirlpool. We agreed it hurt consumers, and nothing came of it. He just did tariffs, and it just hurt people. And we have studies on this from more than 151 countries, and it was analyzed by very smart, very qualified economists, and they also found what I'm saying. It lowers productivity, which hurts your wages. It increases unemployment, which hurts your workers. It decreased growth, which hurts everyone. It increases exchange rates, which hurts exporters, okay? And it only had a tiny impact on the trade deficit. I just don't think tariffs are effective.
A German economist would say to you on this, because let's
Wait.
not convince me anymore, right? Let's convince Germany. Why?
Wait, hold on.
You know
before you go to
I forgot the second point. My second point was I agree we need to promote more trade. I just don't think tariffs are the way to do it. I think the way to do it is multilateral trade agreements like NAFTA, like the TPP, which Trump canceled. That's my
and also I think the end result there is good, but the end result is good because it's free trade, because it's what we want, right? Like the end result is good, it's what we want. I just don't think tariffs are a good way to get there.
Just like I mentioned the Marshall Plan, the only reason we don't apply reciprocal tariffs now, the only reason is because of the Marshall Plan. And we had tariffs, we were just as protectionist as everybody else. We were no different than the rest of the world. And then after World War II, we created the IMF, and we enacted the Marshall Plan.
You can derail a little bit if you have a point about tariffs.
US's foreign trade policy, which was to unleash the American economy to save the world. It was basically like, look, we will let you sell whatever product you want here and take the money back scot-free. You can tariff the shit out of us and we won't sell anything to you because our economy is so strong that we can support your companies and our companies and help you rebuild. Well, they fucking rebuilt, dude. These tariffs were taken down and they're removed for one reason and one reason only. It was accomplished, and then all of big business ever bought every goddamn study and research paper of all time to say how tariffs are terrible, but no other country fucking bought it except for us.
Well, you know I think it's just popular policy. I don't think governments are just do whatever is like the econ. Wait, bro. I let you talk for 2 minutes.
You know what you did? Sorry.
Let me just respond. Look, I just don't think governments are look. If governments listen to economists, our welfare policy would be way better. Or we would keep the DPP. We would do a lot better. I just think governments do what's popular and what gets them votes, not necessarily what's the best. And people can be misguided and miseducated. Okay, I just think people, when they hear price controls, they hear, they make things cheaper without realizing that it also hurts supply. So they just vote for a policy that fucks them over. When people vote for tariffs, they think, we benefit domestic production. That's awesome, and they vote for it without realizing that it's not bad. When people vote for whatever, means testing, they don't realize that it's actually it creates bad effects. So they vote for it. A lot of times, governments do what's bad because it's what's popular.
Do you guys have any Indian friends from India?
No.
They're really into Harley Davidsons in India.
Uh-huh.
Do you know that? They're really into Harley Davidsons in India. It's like a status thing, makes you look like a badass.
Okay.
Over 100% tariff on Harleys. I guarantee you that is a massively unpopular policy in India. I fucking guarantee it. Okay? Budweiser,
really
the
relevant.
beer in China, I believe it's 120% tariff. That beer to import it. And it's not like it's considered like the classy beer now because of that. Like it's a status beer because of the tariff, because of how expensive it is. But I guarantee you, the working class of China would prefer that it not be taxed to high hell. I guarantee you. Like I don't think that tariffs are in place because they're popular. I don't. It's like saying that like bedtimes are in place in homes because kids like it. People don't like paying more for shit. That's not true. I think that's a fallacy.
I don't think people just realize much. Like in Israel, I can tell you it's very much not the case. Like people hear, tariffs on like whatever, and they think, oh, it benefits farmers, which are, by the way, look at Europe, okay? Farmers get so many subsidies and so many protections, and people don't realize that it's bad for them because they think, oh, farmers. That's
hell in
so
Europe.
a lot of it is interest groups too. A lot of it is people are misguided. I don't know if specifically motorcycle tariffs in India are like maybe there, whatever. I just think like, look, we have the studies. We know it's a bad effect. Are you disputing that that's what the study found? Like, I don't understand what you're disputing.
Okay,
we have the data. I trust the economists more than I trust the government.
The studies are bullshit. The studies are bullshit.
What? No, they're not. No, why?
You don't know. You haven't fucked with the public money before, man. I'm telling you,
What?
dude. Okay,
We have not.
Project right now, and I'm drawing from my own personal experience because it's real life experience, dude.
Okay, sorry,
I'm doing a project right
okay.
now for a hospital that's like part of a state hospital, okay? And this project is $265,000. Now I have done projects of like it's a 10,000 square foot facility or space inside of a hospital, 10,000 plus square feet. And I'm doing it for $265 because of their regulations, okay? And now for the public clinic with the same exact shit, I can do it for like $125 and make the same money. I can do it for less than fucking half and make the same money. And the reason I have to charge more than double for any of this public work I do is because they'll mail me a 700-page book of fucking specs for every fucking job. And there's been so many white-collar faggots that sit there and they make all these regulations.
You can't say that on Twitch, man.
You can't 16 gig. You have to use 16 gig.
Yeah, let's not use slurs on Twitch. Look, let's not. Nonfon is streaming, okay?
Don't say that on Twitch. I'm on Twitch.
Look, I just don't look. These people, it's their job. It's their job to do that, to like get do a serious analysis. They get paid for it. That's what they were so passionate about that they went and did a degree about it, and they worked in a fund that if you're an economist, you could get way much more money than working for the IMF. You could go work for a hedge fund or whatever. You get more money. These people went to do this task because they're passionate about it. They're not like dumb. They're not like having an agenda. They did the study because they care. And that's what they found. They had a lot of data. They were very serious people. I don't think the studies mean nothing. I think if anything, personal experience means nothing because your brain has so many biases. Not yours specifically, brain. Everyone's brain has so many biases, and it selects what's to remember.
Also, just speaking of data, I'm very curious. Localist, do you still believe that we should divide real wages by inflation? Is that still a position you hold? I'm just really curious. I would like to hear you.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yes.
Wait, why?
Yeah. Can you find one economist who agrees with you ever?
For me?
No, Localist.
No, it's
Krugman.
I was just curious.
Krugman
doesn't.
I think that the economist argument is dumb because,
it's not.
I guarantee you can find.
Look. If we're just not going to trust the professionals on anything, if we think the professionals are lying and they're look, if we're just not going to trust any data about our personal experience, I don't think I can get through to you. I'm driven by data. I'm not driven by my personal experience.
Is you're assuming the intentions are to apply a tax. I think the intentions.
I don't care about what the intentions are really, but
I don't care about the intentions of a policy. Look, the intentions of so many policies. The intentions of a price control is to make things cheaper for everyone, but that's not what it does. It makes things cheaper for fewer people. Okay,
agreed.
So when I talk about the price control, I don't care about the intentions. I look at the effects and I look at the studies about the effects. That's what I do. I'm driven by data. I'm not driven by personal experience. I'm not driven by ideology.
Look, it's targeted tariffs, and the goal is to remove the tariff. The goal, and Trump, I've heard him say openly, if they take their tariffs off us, we'll take them off them.
Okay.
It's tit for tat.
Then why is he not taking the tariffs off of the washing machines? They expired. He didn't repeal them.
Let me say this then. If Trump is willing to remove any tariffs based off, if he has terms for these tariffs to be removed, would you then agree that like, hey, maybe this is done for an economic reason.
So look, to be clear, Trump did not do his tariffs to some of it was to protect the industries. He did not do the tariffs mainly to promote trade. I'll give you two reasons.
What did your 401k do when Trump was in office?
Well,
what did your
wait, what? Say that
401k
again?
do? What did your 401k do when you were
totally
when Trump was in
irrelevant.
office?
I live in Israel.
Well, what funds? What's your retirement?
I don't, look, the stock market did well. I don't like.
Yeah, we're not disputing that. But it's totally irrelevant to the point.
That's not my claim. Look, look. If you did price controls, the stock market would still do well. I don't think that matters at all. Look, I just look. I think Trump's motivation was not to promote more trade eventually for a couple of reasons. One, he constantly bolstered about how he's going to reduce the trade deficit. You don't say I'm going to do more trade and I'm going to reduce the trade deficit. This is contradictory. That's one. Two, he went out of the TPP. You don't say I want to do more trade and get out of the TPP. That's contradictory. Three, he did it to protect industries. He did it to lower the trade deficit and protect industries. And the third thing is he didn't repeal the tariffs. They expired. They expired under Biden. He didn't repeal them.
I think those are all fair arguments. I think we can agree to disagree, but here's where I want to leave it. Let me just leave it here. Is I will agree to, like, there are several conditions that I think could happen where I would say, you know what, those two jerk-offs were right. You know, these tariffs were a bad idea and they hurt us economically. And, like, I think there's a lot of metrics that could be set where I would have to eat crow, right? But do you guys think there's any metrics that could be set to make you say, hey, fuck, turns out he was right?
I do. That's why I look at studies. When you do a study, you're not like, oh, I'm going to do something that shows why it's bad. No, you do a test, you do a statistical test, and then whichever results confirms whichever hypothesis. And constantly, we have this. This is very consistent. This is why economists almost unanimously agree, right? You constantly find when you do the analyses that it supports my hypothesis. But if it didn't, if the studies overwhelmingly showed that the tariffs actually make things cheaper, they increase wages, they increase jobs, I'd be in favor of tariffs. But the data doesn't show that.
Let's just say let's say you took a bird's eye view, right, at the whole economy. Instead of let me narrow in, like, let's just say like 3 years from now, okay. Instead of like narrowing in on, let's look at specifically the effect of tariffs and what happened in the steel industry that was tariffed, or the washing machine, or whatever, blah, 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 blah. But let's just say you took a bird's eye view of the economy and found that, hey, real wages have increased, inflation has flattened, the actual net income of Americans has increased. Do you think you would say, like, not like that, like perhaps the tariffs themselves were, of merit, but that, like, hey, maybe overall this economic plan had some merit to it, as a whole?
What?
Wait, say that again? Sorry, I was reading something.
What I'm saying is, like, is there any metrics you could see in the future that would make you think, hey, these tariffs weren't detrimental? These tariffs didn't suck.
I already told you. Why. Look.
But just the fact that Trump had a good economy doesn't mean the tariff was
Here's how I come to conclusions. Here's how I come to conclusions, okay? When I have a medicine, okay? When I have vaccines, for example, okay? I do, like, there is effective medicine and there is ineffective medicine. How do I think we should do that? We should do a study. We should take the data. We should conduct a study. And if it shows that the treatment did not help, then I say, oh, it's an ineffective medicine. Let's not use it. If it does show it, then I'm saying, oh, that's a good medicine. Let's look further, and if it's reliable enough, let's use it. Okay, that's my understanding. And I apply the same to every other branch of life. When I look at economic policy, I'm like, okay, it would be nice if we had a study going over 150 countries in over 50 years, and it looked at the effects. And if this study showed that it had good effects on employment, on productivity, on growth, I'll be like, yeah, tariffs are good. But if it showed the opposite, I'll be like, yeah, that's evidence that tariffs are bad. And guess what? It showed that tariffs are bad. So what would change my mind is if you could find a robust literature of studies that repeatedly and consistently show that tariffs are good. I don't find them. I couldn't find them.
Okay.
Yes.
To maybe
Localist,
give
you don't believe in CPI at all. Stop. Shut the fuck up.
Data on this right now.
Yeah.
Because I think that it's unprecedented, like we're talking about. I don't think that, like the American GDP is insane. It's like $84K per pop, guys. Like, I mean, like, it's unreal. It is, like, it's like we're not just doing better than other countries. Like, it's head and shoulders above other countries. Like, the amount of money on the table there's nothing like it. Okay, so we've never tried to leverage that economy. We've only used it, like, virtuously and not in a way like what Trump's talking about, where it's like more self-interested. It's never happened. So like, I don't think that we're going to be able to look at statistics like based off of, hey, Belarus didn't do good from fucking their tariffs, or Belgium, they sold less waffles when, you know what I mean? Like, I think you're taking lemonade stand economics to, big boy shit.
Okay. I told you what would change my mind if it's the data showed the other way.
I think you've been really fair, and I don't think you're. Okay. I don't think you're saying.
What would change your mind? Would any amount of studies or data change your mind?
Yeah, like I think that, like, let's say, I don't know the numbers on what inflation are, right? But let's just say, like, when Trump takes office in January 21st, right? And 1 year from now, inflation is.
No, that's a bad idea.
That's a causal inference by passion.
That's awful.
And the metrics show that Americans, hey, like, we're paying more for shit. But
that's an awful metric. Just looking what comes after, that's a bad metric. Look, wait. You agree that if I did price controls on like cucumbers, still inflation is going to be like inflation is not going to be very much different in the whole economy.
What do you think would be a good metric then for me to think that this was a bad idea?
You do regressions, you do the general equilibrium models. That's for economists to figure out. I have faith in the economic profession.
No, but I'm talking about like you can feel it, right? Like you can feel.
No.
Like you can't.
Usually, the way I see it is like when I take medicine. Like, look, if I would just go by feeling it, I would never take vaccines because I'm afraid of needles. Okay, I would never go by feeling it. I would go by what the data and studies by professionals constantly show.
Let's look at the 2024 election, man. Right, like so in the quarter up before this election, right? Like while Biden's stepping out and they're putting in Kamala, the talk of all the economists, and I don't know how well you guys follow this, is that this economy is the pearl of the world. The economy is so strong. And as far as like the securities market, it's doing great. But MSNBC could tell everybody till they're blue in the face that the economy's wonderful, and it don't change the fact that, could have fooled me. You know what I mean? So, like, what I'm telling you is like, you can feel it. I got a wife and kids that I take care of. I got, you know what I mean? Like, I do know whenever, I made it on one income with a family of 4 for over a decade, Like, I do. You can't, it's not as arbitrary as you're making it out to be. Like, people can feel it. Well, so I don't give a shit who MSNBC had telling people that the economy was great. They knew it wasn't because they can't afford shit. And they could before.
Okay. Uh-oh. I just let data change my mind, okay? If the data reliably show it. Like, I trust professionals and I trust studies. And it's like, I mean, look, when you, wait, do you apply this logic to anything else? Like, when you take vaccines, like do you just like look at the vaccines that make you feel good like a day after? Or like how do you decide? Do you try vaccines that don't work, or like how do you decide? Like truly.
Dude, I'm fucking older millennial. I just fucking vaccines. I don't know. I've never thought about vaccines. I just take
older
them,
millennial is someone on TikTok who's a bad person. But okay, look, I mean, whatever. I get it. So I mean, we don't apply this to any other field of life. Like when I look at like myself, or like when I like physicists, okay, I don't like send my own rockets to space. I trust like professionals there. When I do medicine, or like when I take like my sleeping pills, I have some right now. I'm gonna take them because I want to sleep. Right? Like I don't like try a bunch of pills and see what makes me sleepy. I just trust professionals.
If are telling you that the economy's great, shut up. What are you talking about? But you're like, okay, well, why was it like 3 years ago I could pay the rent?
Well, you want to see something awesome? You want to see something awesome? Do you think now Trump is elected, right? Do you think people are feeling better or worse about the economy? It should not really change, right? The economy has not changed at all, right?
No.
It is not, right?
I would assume I think he ran a change campaign, so I think.
Well, no. Listen to what I said. I said Trump got elected like a week ago, right?
Yes.
Right. He's not the president yet, right?
Yeah.
So if we survey consumers about how they feel about
just in case you would do a multivariable regression in some type of
no, we should not,
academic study. You don't just base it on
but
vibes.
You will. Here, I sent you the picture. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, it jumped the moment Trump got elected. Okay. And you see because people are partisan. I don't think consumer sentiment is a very good measure of reality. I think people are very delusional.
No, I think that's a fair point. I do.
So I think people look. It used to not be the case, but people right now are so like COVID broke people's brains. Okay, I think people are delusional, and I trust people who are nonpartisan who don't have an incentive to have like one side of the debate.
People don't go looking to like learn. People go looking for answers on both sides. You know what I mean? Like it's like you're Steven Crowder to fucking David Pakman. Both. You know what I mean? Like it's all
David Pakman is based. Don't compare him to Steven Crowder. Okay, David Pakman.
I think he's right. I think he's like Tim Pool. I think he's like the same. To me, it's like that same, like team sports. You know what I mean? It's like it's not like you can't really not seeing the forest from the trees, just like seeing your perspective. And like I told you, like the right wingers that think AOC's an idiot. It's like you're an idiot. Like there's no fucking way that this.
Well, but I think AOC is intelligent because like she can explain her positions intelligently.
Trump again has not accurately described what a tariff is a single time, at least from what I've seen.
And also, I think AOC can be dumb sometimes. Like I like AOC, but sometimes like she one time she uploaded One time she uploaded like an Instagram story and said the economist Milton Keynes. his name was John Keynes, but there's Milton Keynes is like a town. Okay, it's like so that was dumb, right? Like she spoke without understanding anything. So
what I'm trying to say is some guys like us who are maybe not as accomplished, right? To sit here and say that AOC's an idiot is short-sighted, right? Like that's not smart, right? Like you're like it's like to think that someone so accomplished is dumb is like I feel like that's part of like that's how like Pakman is. That's how a lot of the not all.
No,
but
Pakman is intelligent. Steven Crowder, I don't think I've seen him much like explain stuff intelligently. But I've seen.
Okay, I will say this: fucking Pakman is significantly better than Crowder.
Yeah, I'll give you someone dumb. Okay?
He's a team sports guy. He really is.
Like Hassan Piker, okay? He's like a left-wing progressive. I don't think I've ever seen him explain anything intelligently or like without reeking of ideology. That guy is a hack. He's a terrorist supporter, okay? And I think he's dumb. I think he's incredibly dumb. I'll give you another person, Anna Vigland, whatever her name is, okay? From the Majority Report.
Well, you know her deal, right? She's country club girl, you know?
Okay, she's insane. She's completely insane. She's a lunatic. Yeah. She thought like people in Egypt are black because they're in Africa. Okay, like she's dumb. Like so yeah. Like I think people are dumb when I hear them say dumb things. AOC says some dumb things, but then some intelligent things. So I think she's like a little slightly above average IQ. I hear Elon Musk say some smart things, but a lot of dumb shit. So I think he's like slightly below average. I hear Trump say a lot of dumb shit. So I think he's below average.
You're one of those guys. You think that Elon Musk is dumb?
I think when you spread like when you see like a story about how Paul Pelosi was not actually beat almost to death with hammers, it was actually a gay lover, and you spread it, you're either evil or dumb. Yeah, I think.
Well, I mean, I think that like the same argument can be made that like if you're taking things at face value from the mainstream media, that you're either evil or dumb. Right.
Well, if you read the full article, you're going to be significantly. Well, but I think the difference is if you read a CNN article, from front to back, okay, you're going to be more informed about the issue than like solid 70% of people who talk about it.
Used to be. Like that used to be the case. Like I'm old enough to know when CNN used to be good, but like it's.
I mean, I'll give you an example. Someone challenged Elon Musk on AI on a Twitter Space like one time. He just like he didn't engage with his question. He just told him to shut up and like he tried to move on from the guy.
But y'all gotta understand. Like you gotta understand. Like when you live your life, like right, like imagine like if we got to see your lowlights too, bro. You know what I mean? Like I'm like.
I think Ben Shapiro is smart. Okay, I think Ben Shapiro is like incredibly smart. I saw him say, I'm not partisan about this. I just think Elon Musk, as of late, I've not seen him say any smart thing.
Yeah, I saw Ben Shapiro say January 6th was an insurrection. Seems pretty smart to me.
No, Ben Shapiro constantly like explain. He's articulate, especially before Trump. Like when you hear Ben Shapiro talk about Trump before Trump like became the president, he sounds like the smartest motherfucker on earth. Okay, now he's audience captured. I think now he's like. What?
I have seen Ben Shapiro purposely play dumb on purpose. I have seen him.
I agree.
Well, I agree with that.
I don't think it makes him dumb. I think it makes him bad faith. I think
it is. That's okay. You're right. I don't think he's dumb. But I do think he's bad faith. He's obviously brilliant. I mean, he went to Harvard.
I agree. I agree. When when he like on January 6th, I bet you $100 right now he's going to do apology on January 6th, but the day after January 6th, he didn't.
Yeah, he
My
said it was
whole
an
point
insurrection.
is,
Even
is
it
like
was really
it's. I
funny.
think people dehumanize others and lose perspective. Like I guarantee you, if you knew Elon Musk, like on a personal level, I promise you, you would think he was brilliant.
Maybe I'm
Right?
wrong about
Right,
Elon
Because
Musk,
I
but
knew,
Trump,
I think Joe Biden is the worst president of our lifetime, right? But I'm no
Oh my God.
fool to think that if I met Joe Biden, say in 2021 even, right? That I would not be amazed and incredibly impressed by him, right?
look,
Like
here, I'll give you an
it would
example. I'll
be
give you an
foolish
example.
to
Pete
think that
Buttigieg,
someone's
okay?
going to
Pete
sit for the
Buttigieg.
presidency.
Okay, I'll give you an example. So Pete Buttigieg, I think that guy's very smart, okay? That guy, very smart, clearly. Okay? So this is an example of like someone I hear him constantly say intelligent things. He happens to agree with me, so that's a bonus. And so I think he's like smart. But when I hear like fucking, when I hear I don't know, Emma Vigeland say that like because people are from Africa, from Egypt, which is in Africa, they're black. I just think, you might be dumb. You might be a little
Emma
like
Vigeland is not
retarded.
an incredibly accomplished person. A dumb person can do what she did, right? A dumb
Yeah.
person
Apparently.
can do like Emma Vigeland is not someone that's deserving of that respect,
Okay.
like an
Yeah.
AOC.
Okay, maybe I'll take
Okay,
Elon Musk. I
wait.
just
Hold on.
really
I
hate
literally,
him.
I don't really care to debate like whether people are smart or dumb. I don't care. I
Yeah,
still,
I don't care
hold on,
about
wait.
that. I don't care about that.
I'm
My point is-
gonna have to
my
go
point
back
is,
to reading relatively soon. I want an actual answer, untrolling from Localist. Do you still believe that you should divide real wages by inflation? Hello, Localist.
He's muted, bro.
Yeah, it was
Localist?
muted.
Yeah. Brass. Do you know what per capita means?
What
Yes.
happened?
Yeah. Do you think
Do
you
you-
should divide a per capita statistic by the population? Right. That's obviously not the case, right? It's already divided by the population, right?
Yeah, per capita means like per person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Localist, do you believe that you should divide real wages by inflation?
If you have data if you have like raw wage data and you adjust for inflation, you should adjust again. That's his argument, and we're trying to explain to him like, no, not at all.
Yeah.
No, it's
So
adjusted.
Localist, do you
I
still
think
believe
you
that?
have to. Yeah, like you have to. That's what.
Give me one time it ever happened. Give me one article, publication, TikTok video, anything where people adjusted for inflation twice.
Krugman.
Wait,
Where?
stop trolling.
The other week. On
The other
show.
week. Where?
But I think the real important thing is that
Can you answer the question?
trade is not real. Right? This is not real. This is
Okay.
not a real concept.
Bro, Nonfon, he's a troll.
He is trolling.
That's so disappointing.
Well, what's actually true though is that what you want is not free trade. You want unrestricted imports. Right? Like,
That's
you're not asking
basically
for-
what I define as free trade. That's like basically my definition is the freedom to import.
And export, right? And that's the key thing is that you don't want you need a level playing field with
You know how I think about these tariffs, man? Are you familiar with England's healthcare system, the NHS?
Wait, well, let Localist finish his point, but we can go down that in a
Oh,
second.
well,
sorry.
you need a level playing field because you can't just say what you get is a race to who has less who has less restrictions, less protections for workers, and less and what you really want is a race to who has less, who has less regulation, right? And that's what's gonna get us the lowest consumer price. But what it really is we need to level the playing field for American manufacturing, right?
Well,
And that's important.
why do you think that's important?
I think he's right on that. I think he's right on that.
Why do you think it's important? Is the first question.
Well, we need American manufacturing. We can't just export all of our production to places where there's less regulations.
Do you agree that it benefits
That's
consumers? Do you agree that one, there's an opportunity cost to having that production?
Consumers,
okay, so we agree it benefits consumers. Do you also agree that there's a large opportunity cost to the U.S. doing that here?
Price, sure.
Hey, localist.
Wait, answer my second question. Do you agree that it's a large opportunity cost to bringing all this manufacturing back? Do you agree with that as well?
Not necessarily, because a lot of these jobs, all these productive ones, get replaced with nonsense, essentially.
What do you mean by nonsense?
service work.
Service work is nonsense. Service work is 80% of the U.S. economy.
It doesn't produce anything like.
But it produces services. Wait, does a haircut produce anything?
Profit, but it doesn't produce like.
Wait, do I benefit from a haircut? Do I benefit from a haircut? Do I benefit from getting a haircut?
And it's just weird to have.
Wait, do I benefit from getting a haircut?
Yeah, I guess.
Does the person who gave me the haircut also benefit, so long as they got to charge the price they want?
Yeah. But
okay, so we agree that services can have net benefits too, right? Services clearly have net benefits.
It doesn't create anything, and
wait, it doesn't matter if it. What is this obsession with create? What matters if it has net benefits, right? I don't understand why do we care if it creates something? Like what?
Because, I mean, like you can go to McDonald's. I don't know. I mean, like we can have, like analogies about this, but I think it's kind of off the point a little bit.
Well, you said we need to bring manufacturing back because service work isn't real, which is dumb.
Well, no. Do you think that it would be nice to increase manufacturing to pair with that incredible amount of service work we have?
Just to increase manufacturing, if we increase manufacturing in strategic industries,
say we increased our manufacturing business, right? There's millions of working age people that don't work, right? But we increased our manufacturing, and we were to say get 4 million more people high-paying jobs that didn't have high-paying jobs, right?
They do have high-paying jobs.
That increase of that manufacturing business, wouldn't that, in theory, increase the demand for service-based businesses as well?
No, I'm only in support of, quote-unquote, bringing manufacturing back in strategic industries. I deny that tariffs create net jobs.
I think the real issue is that,
I think that's fair. I think it's fair to say that tariffs in practice have created net jobs. I think that's a fair argument.
In practice, no, they haven't. We have studies on this, but logically they don't either. They come with net cost.
I'm agreeing with you that in practice, that it does not create more jobs, and the numbers back that up. I agree with that. But do you think there's a way to use, an innovative way, a creative new way to use tariffs to increase manufacturing in the country?
Not really. I mean, you can increase manufacturing in some specific industries, but what
could we do to increase? You don't want to increase? You think increasing manufacturing is a negative?
Only in strategic industries, I think it would be a positive. But yeah, it logically it carries.
How would you want to, in those industries that you do think we should, it would be a positive? How would you go about increasing manufacturing in those industries?
Mostly through tax incentive financing and subsidies.
Okay. I think my point though is just if we can't have a level playing field, then we need to protect American manufacturing.
Why? How does that benefit us? How does that benefit us?
To make it competitive with
how does that benefit
cheaper goods. Because then we have more jobs. We have more.
Nope. That's not true. We don't have net jobs.
Makes us more resilient.
Nope. Hang on. Nope. Wait. Nope. That does not protect jobs. You accept that, right? Any good that you tariff is going to
protect jobs.
Nope. So did it protect jobs when Trump put tariffs on steel?
Yes.
I have no idea.
Yes.
I don't.
The answer is no. The answer is no. The answer is no.
I know for a fact that it did.
We have studies to go over this.
But
no.
It hurt more jobs than it did.
Exactly. Yep. So Localist, you accept that the
jobs. That's beyond debate. That's not even up for debate.
It absolutely 100%.
We either need a level playing field or tariffs which make it level playing field.
To stop the sale of U.S. steel to Nippon Steel. That is why it was put in place.
Wait, I don't deny protected steel jobs. I don't deny protected steel jobs. What I deny is it protected jobs on net.
But it literally was done to protect it, and it did protect jobs, and those jobs would have been.
Wait, oh my God, are you listening to me right now? I'm denying that it protected jobs on net.
Look. Nonfon. You're speaking in math. Look. You need to speak in simple words. I'm not saying you people are dumb. I'm just saying when you say net and you say welfare maximizing, it's not clear. I'm just saying the number of jobs in the economy as a whole, not in specific sectors, as a whole, decreased. Some were protected, but more were hurt.
Okay. Do you think other factors could be involved in that?
This is what we do.
Is there any scenario that other factors?
I agree. Other factors can be involved in that. That's why when you do a study.
That's why we do studies on this and have multivariable analysis, and you don't have that. You just have feelings.
Wait, brass. When you do a study, you don't just look at the moment the policy was implemented and then like a day after or the month, a year after. You do control for other variables. You do regressions. The economists are competent people. They thought about this already. That's why I look at their analyses, because they thought about this and they did the math on it. That's why I don't let myself be the arbiter of truth. I let science help me.
But there's a lot of examples, like more often than not, of economic models being wrong. Like more often than not, and that's beyond dispute as well. Like if you go back to 2002 and take out any economic model and trace it out, it fails. Because none of them caught the 2008 crash, right? If you take any economic model from 2012, none of them are going to predict the massive dip in 2015 that lost me fucking 5 figures, lots of money. Okay, none of them are going to predict that. Like you can't so you're there's no economic model has held up ever. If you look at John Locke, right, or not John Locke, John Smith, the guy the real capitalism guy, what's his name, John Smith or whatever.
Adam Smith, you mean?
Yeah, John Smith. If you look at him and see how he got to where he is, you do the math, you kind of see how he gets there. If you look at Karl Marx and you see, holy shit, when Karl Marx wrote this shit, machines were getting created, we were losing jobs. I see how he was like, fuck, if we do the math, it's going to work out to where no one has a job. It's all going to be machines. We need to do so. You can see how they get there. But what people don't predict is how we're going to adapt, right? When it used to take one hand per cow to get a bottle of milk, and now we've got machines that do it, you thought, oh my God, how are we going to live without guys milking cows or guys delivering milk we found a way. Employment has increased. That's why, we all agree communism doesn't work. And, we see that, even though we have less labor jobs, now we have an 80% market of service jobs. You just verified to me that humans adapt. Humans.
Well, no. That's why I support. That's why I support science of economic theory. Okay, people who do statistics. My degree is data science. A lot of statistics, not economics. So there's some econometrics I don't understand. I could not define to you a DSGE model. Okay, whatever. But it's the first question is how do you control for other variables, right? How do you decide, how do you find evidence for causation and whatnot? And I trust economists whose entire degree, they did a whole PhD in this, okay? And they chose not to make a bunch of money in a hedge fund or whatever. They chose to do research, okay? These are people who love science, they love data, and they love to find the truth. They love truth, and I trust people like that. And when they do a study, looking at a lot of data, they pour hours of their life into just contributing to the knowledge of humanity. And I believe in them and their institutions that taught them economics, that they want to find how isolate other variables and look at how to get conclusions. And they tell me unanimously, by every study, by every poll of economists, by everyone, that tariffs hurt everyone more than they help everyone. And then the only people who defend tariffs are people who are civilly liable rapists or countries who run on populism. I'm sorry, that's not enough for me. That's not enough. That's not enough for me to believe it. But either way, I'm gonna go. I gotta go. I'm tired. I'm gonna take my sleeping pills. I'm gonna go. Look, he is. Sorry, he is. Whatever. I'm gonna go now. Bye bye.
It's a good faith argument when you get to character assassinations, right?
Wait, no. Is he or is he not a civilly liable rapist?
No, he's not.
He is. He objectively is. You can say it's frivolous, but he is civilly liable.
Here's the thing on this, man. Is whether I don't want to argue about what happened in that situation.
Okay, I'm sorry. I will not cite civilly liable.
Here's the thing. Here's the fact of this is that the law was changed.
What?
The law was changed. I don't know.
No. Okay, I'm not going to cite the civilly liable
Trump
rapist.
did that you guys could get him on. There are so many.
I'm not going to cite the civilly liable rapist. I'm going to cite the fact. Look. I agree. Whether someone raped someone or not has nothing to do with if they tell the truth. I'm going to cite the fact that he lost a defamation case about it. That shows that he's a liar, right? Either way, with that being said, goodbye, good night. Nonfon, good memes.
Yeah.
Send me the debate. Send me the debate and send me the Marxist segment.
Yeah, I will. Don't worry.
That's just your bad faith on that, dude.
Maybe.
Bad faith on that. It's not.
I mean, hey, like no level playing field. It's not free trade. I mean, that's kind of true.
Well,
Well, man, I had fun with you guys. I am going to get out of here. That was really random for me to come on here, but it was a good time.
See.
I don't think anybody convinced anybody, but see y'all.
I convinced you, Nonfon, right?
Yeah, definitely. We can debate this a little more after, like tomorrow after the CTV debate. But I unironically, okay, give me a real fucking answer. Do you still believe that you should divide real wages to over inflation?
I think you should do it every day.
No, give me an unironic answer, please.
I know. It's something I haven't thought about a lot. So I have to think about it more.
That's not true.
I haven't had enough time to really know.
Well, you held a strong position on it before. You argued with us for like quite a while. You had a strong position on it. I don't know,
but but we need to have American manufacturing be competitive with cheaper Chinese manufacturing, with lower regulations, with lower workers' protection, with lower all this, and no one's addressed that at all.
Well, as long as we specialize in what we have a comparative advantage is, right? Our higher productivity makes up for our higher wages, right?
We don't specialize in anything anymore because every other
we do specialize. Wait,
cheaper.
Do you deny that we specialize? We do specialize in what we have in comparative advantages.
Yeah, we specialize in some things, but we don't specialize in like manufacturing because manufacturing can be done cheaper where there's less regulations.
Well, because it's more labor intensive, right?
And the
opportunity cost here is too high.
Manufacturing's better. Well, like if you have the mindset that cheaper manufacturing is good because lower consumer prices, like that's just how you're going to get rid of all your manufacturing, right? Like, isn't that just the logical endpoint of that? Is to export all of your manufacturing?
Thank you, Horseradish. I appreciate it.
Cheaper, and then
so long as
you're just making an excuse of specialization, right? Because like you're not real. Because it's not like another place is more specialized, is that they just have less restrictions and can produce for cheaper as a result.
Well, no,
it's not really.
They're special. I disagree with that. Clearly, we have we like the U.S. has better capital markets, which is why we specialize in like services that are highly capital intensive. Like you would agree with that part, right?
I was reading chat for a second. I kind of got distracted. What did you say?
The U.S. clearly has like better capital markets, right? Because that's why we specialize in a lot of capital intensive industries.
Yeah, I mean, like we're kind of on the I think we specialize in like innovation, like.
Well, exactly. Yeah, that's very capital intensive. That requires a lot of money for research and development. Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah,
so clearly
I think that's the only thing we really specialize in. But it's we kind of export all of our manufacturing.
I still think we. Well, my claim here is that to the extent that we do export manufacturing, that's usually a net benefit to the U.S.
To consume, and that's the thing is
some domestic producers are harmed, but other domestic producers are gaining, right? Because they also for steel, whatever, they get cheaper input prices.
Free trade argument, it kind of prioritizes consumer prices, above all else.
Prioritizes the net benefit, right? The gain in it's not wait. It's not just consumer prices. The gain in consumer surplus is bigger than the loss in producer surplus. You recognize that, right?
Well, the gain from lower consumer prices is greater than the loss of it.
The gain in consumer surplus, the gain in total consumer surplus is greater than the loss in producer surplus. You recognize that, right?
What's that mean in English or whatever? What does that mean in English?
It means that the gain, that the total surplus that consumers get, which is basically the price that they're willing to pay minus the price they actually paid, that the area of that triangle in an economic model, it's the shape of a triangle, is greater than the loss in producer surplus, which is the price producers sold at minus the cost of production.
I don't know. I just think that we need to protect American industry from this important. Again, and that's the thing, is that free trade requires essentially like a level playing field, and I think that we need to start like leveling the playing field internationally if we want to have like actual free trade.
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, maybe I just wasn't listening. I think I was reading. I was reading something. Did you answer my question? Do you accept that the gain in producer surplus is greater than the loss in producer surplus?
I have no. I don't know. I don't know, but
okay. So like, this is true, but okay.
Free trade is not. It's just like it's all theory. It's not something that.
What do you mean? I mean, we have free trade in real life. I don't know what you mean, but.
No, because we don't have a level playing field between like the countries, right? You need to have a level
free
playing
trade doesn't
field.
Work quite. You can have an unlevel playing field. I mean, do you agree? Do you think there's a level playing field in terms of almond production between California and Minnesota?
In terms of regulations, and probably not.
Just in general,
there's probably a level playing field. Yes, not in terms of like.
Okay, you understand you can't grow almonds in Minnesota,
resources.
Right? Or it'd be very hard to grow almonds in Minnesota, at least.
Yeah, not like with natural resources.
So that's an unlevel playing field.
Right, but that's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to like regulation.
Well, wait, but you would agree that's an unlevel playing field, right? California has an advantage there, right?
What, from natural resource perspective? Sure.
Yes, in general, it's not a level playing field because California has a natural advantage. It is a natural advantage as opposed to.
Yeah, they have a natural advantage, right? But like we're not.
Does that preclude? Does that preclude the ability for free trade to have net benefits?
No.
Okay, so it seems like we agree. Even if there isn't a level playing field, free trade can still have net benefits.
These are American producers.
Wait, why does it matter if it's natural or unnatural? Does having an unlevel playing field preclude the ability for free trade to have net benefits for both sides?
Well, it's not about a level playing field. It's about like a
You literally said it was about a level playing field. You said we need to level the playing field. Does the ability
in terms of regulations, not in terms of like make sure we all have the same.
It seemed, but I ran through the net. If they wait, why on earth does it matter? You said because we have an unlevel playing field, we need to level it with tariffs. I gave you an example where some country, or I say California, but some state has a unfair advantage because of a natural feature. Now, why does it matter if that doesn't preclude the ability for free trade to be a net benefit for both sides? Why does it matter whether it's a regulation or a natural advantage causing that advantage? Why does that matter? How does that preclude the ability for it to be a net benefit?
I don't know if that's necessarily like relevant to the point, right? Because
my question is whether an unlevel playing field precludes free trade being a net benefit for both sides. That's my question right now. Can you answer that?
No. The answer is no.
You can't answer it?
Whatever the right answer is. No, like whatever the right answer is the right answer.
Okay, well, the right answer is no, and you agree with that because we ran through that example of California. Okay, so it seems like why is the level playing field relevant at all? What I care about, to be clear, what I care about is whether it's a net benefit to the U.S. and to a lesser extent if it harms other countries as well. But primarily, is it a net benefit to the U.S.? My position is that this is a net benefit to the U.S. Your position was that it isn't a level playing field, so it's not a net benefit to the U.S., but I just ran through, we can have an unlevel playing field and it still be a net benefit to the U.S. So...
All right, but like it's not about net benefit, net blah blah blah. It's more about.
To me, it is about a net benefit. Yes, that's what I care about.
From having unfair regulations.
The thing I care about is whether it's a net benefit to the U.S. Do you care about something different?
No. Well, yes, I have different priorities, and I think that's going to be where
okay, what's your priority?
Disagree. It's too much to talk about, but you know how I am with self-sufficiency, especially like natural,
So my position, just so we're clear, my position is that free trade generally maximizes economic welfare.
I'm more isolationist than you are, but I don't know. I think you're prioritizing like consumer prices and stuff like that. And
I'm prioritizing what has a net benefit.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it, but
So do you agree or disagree that universal tariffs on literally everything? Wait. Do you agree or disagree that universal tariffs on everything would maximize economic welfare? Answer that question.
I probably would disagree, but like, I don't remember what I was going to say now. Oh yeah, like we could produce at the same price as China, like if we just lower our regulations and everything. Like we could have sweatshops.
Well,
in America.
no, I disagree because average productivity in the U.S. is much higher, and since average productivity determines wages, do you agree or disagree that average productivity in the U.S. is much higher than in China?
What, the average productivity in America is higher than China? Yeah, I would say so because we have better technology.
Great. Do you agree or disagree that generally average productivity in a country is a major factor in determining a country's wages?
I don't know, dude. Like,
okay, well, typically the answer is yes, and I can show you like evidence of this, like
destiny moment. This is like major destiny moment. Ask a sequence of questions. I don't really care to get to certain conclusions.
Well, because yes, I'm asking you questions to understand understand your position, and B, how is this a red herring? You said that we could produce in the U.S. for the same price as we do with China. I said I disagree. One, because average productivity. Well, I had two disagreements. I didn't get to the second one, but the first disagreement I have is I dispute. Well, wait. Let me run through the thing. The first thing. Oh my God. The first thing I'm saying is that I dispute that fact because one, average productivity in the U.S. is higher than it is in China. So wages in the U.S. are almost always going to be are going to be higher because productivity determines wages, at least to a large extent. The second thing is that maybe we could do that. Even if I accept that we could do that, there'd be a massive opportunity cost to doing that, and I don't think that would be a net benefit.
Okay.
So where do you disagree with that?
American production matters. I don't know why you just think like we should just export all our manufacturing.
Did it? Do you think if
I had a point,
if
but
exporting?
I just, completely forgot.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. Do you disagree?
Oh yeah. My point was that the reason American manufacturing is expensive is artificial, right? It's because of regulations and rules. Like it's not because it costs more.
Wait, maybe some of it is due to regulation rules. Do you deny that at least some of it is also due to average productivity in the U.S. being higher?
Is artificially inflated. Like the cost of American manufacturing is artificially inflated. And
okay, we already ran through this whole thing. Wait, stop. You don't disagree that the fact that our manufacturing is artificially inflated or whatever, that doesn't preclude that free trade is a net benefit. You already conceded to that, correct?
I mean, I would have to analyze whether it's a net benefit, according to like what?
According to maximizing economic welfare, maximizing the sum.
So I can't say whether it's a net improvement, like
is a net benefit in terms of the fact that it maximizes total economic surplus.
It's a benefit in some ways, and then it's a negative in some ways. Like there's trade-offs to everything. Like you can't just say,
but it maximizes total surplus, right?
Is it net good or is it?
Do you agree or disagree?
Like, no, it's good in some ways and bad in others.
Hold on. I don't disagree. If we have free trade, for example, some producers are harmed. If we have free trade for steel, a lot of steel producers are harmed. However, the reason free trade maximizes total surplus is because the gain in consumer surplus is greater than the loss in producer surplus. Do you dispute that?
That went over my head. I'm not into like nitty gritty math. Ooh, let's do the math. I'm just more into the broad general.
My claim.
I got argument of whether it's negative. I'm not into the whole like what you're into, like the yapping, like this guy's saying.
Okay.
Like I'm not gonna have a good. Like I'm not gonna have a thoughtful cogent answer. I'm just gonna I don't know. I don't look into this stuff. I don't look into the
right, but I don't have an issue with that. But you seem to have a strong position on it. Is my issue. Like there are plenty of things. For example, your specialty law or whatever. I don't have an opinion on that stuff, you know, because, like, for example, I haven't read into nullification, so I don't really have a strong opinion on nullification. However, you know, you seem to make strong claims on tariffs, so I guess that's the issue I have here.
My position isn't really strong. It's just more like I see the flaw in the reasoning of, like, you know, like unrestricted imports are good because blah blah blah, like the shitty reasons, you know, like that's what I have a problem with. It's not really
what
like
shitty reasons?
I genuinely think free trade is bad. It's like I just have issues with the arguments that people make more than like
you can't point out an issue in the argument I'm making because you don't even know enough to understand the argument I'm making. You don't know what consumer surplus or producer surplus is. You don't know what total surplus is. So if I say these words and they're totally meaningless to you,
yeah, it's all meaningless with me.
Well, it's not meaningless. These terms have definitions. I actually defined both of them for you, but apparently you still aren't capable of understanding it. But do you agree that consumers gain from imports, cheap imports?
Yes. But
okay,
that's
so
not my priority, right? That's different.
Wait, yeah, I understand. Okay, so that gain is called consumer surplus. The added consumers gain more from free trade than producers lose, is my claim. So when, you know, we outsource jobs, some amount of producers, you know, go bankrupt, they shut down. That's producer surplus being lost. However, the gain in consumers gain more than the producers lose. That is my claim. Do you dispute that?
I would dispute that consumers gain more than the producers lose. Yeah.
Okay, so what could we look at to maybe change your mind on that? Like, would an economic model help with this at all? Or do you
it's all like I think it's more about priorities, like who has what priorities. Because, like, we can make this same kind of argument.
Well, wait. Right? Don't switch over to what your priorities are. I'm saying, like, what could we look at to determine? What could we look at to determine? Wait, stop. What could we look at to determine whether or not consumers gain more than producers lose? Like, you know, could we draw a supply and demand graph and maybe, like, graph this? Would that model be useful at all? Or is that model just fake?
I'd have to look into this more, but you have to factor in a lot of different factors that I can't just think of off of my head, you know, in an instant.
Right. Okay. So you seem to have this belief. You have a belief. Wait. Stop. You have a belief, and you have no clue what it would even take to change your mind on that, right? You understand that's what you just said. Like, you have a belief. You dispute the fact that consumers gain more than producers lose, but you don't even know why you have that belief. You don't know what it would take to change your mind on that belief. Does that give you any pause? Like,
because there's benefits to local production, which offset the cost of, like, a slightly higher consumer price, you know, like that's the real point that's actually to be made, and it's the same point with local food production and this with protectionism. Like, it's a similar argument. It's just local production. It's just, you know, like, what the benefits of local production and whether it outweighs the benefits of a lower consumer price, which I think it does.
Right.
But it's all like who has what priorities. It's not like, oh, like, you're right or you're wrong. It's like, who has what priorities. If you prioritize lower consumer prices, you're right. If you prioritize, like, you know, like what I do, it's like I'm, you know, it's not who's right or wrong. It's like we have other priorities, and that's, like, really where it is.
When I make, okay, I don't think you're not. If I make a specific claim and you dispute that, it's not a matter of different priorities. It's a matter of different understandings of the world. We could have different priorities, and, you know, disagree on a topic for that reason. However, we should still have, like, the same understanding of you know, of facts like these. But
and I think that's more just to do with, like, the local production, whether you prioritize the benefits of local production or the benefits of essentially outsourcing it for cheaper.
Well, I prioritize whatever has the net benefit, and then I think the net benefit is from.
I wish we could argue about what has the net benefit. I would want to look into more before I'm fully laying out what I think, but I don't have off the top of my head why local. I don't know. I'm not gonna know off my head why it's
okay.
Well, rather,
Do you wait? Can you give me a real answer, please? Do you still believe that you should divide real wages by inflation?
Depends on the
what if I'm trying to figure out purchasing power?
It depends. Well, then,
I'm trying to determine how much So if I'm trying to determine the amount of purchasing power workers have, I should divide real wages by inflation.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. It's fine with me. I don't mind.
Well, I'm saying it's not a good methodology. If I'm trying to determine the purchasing power workers have, I should adjust inflation, adjusted wages for inflation. That's your position.
It's not something that I actually care about. I'm just memeing a lot of the time when I say that.
Yeah, okay, so you're trolling. Okay, well, goodbye. Wait.
What?
If you want to chat with me live, sub here or go to Nonfon420 on Twitch or Kick via the links below. Once again, please like and sub to help with the algorithm, and consider sending a donation through YouTube Super Thanks to directly support me, and I'll make sure to reply to any question you ask. See you guys next time.